The Laughlin Song by George W. Johnson. As I was coming around the corner, I heard some people say, here comes the dandy darky, here he comes this way. His heel is like a snowplow, his mouth is like a strap, and when he opens it gently, you will see a fearful gap, and then I laugh. I got Daddy from Larry. I got Daddy from Larry.
You stand in the parking lot of Mordaunt Memorial Hospital. The fog, oppressive and so thick that you can almost feel it against your skin, parts for a moment, revealing the town of Leary. It sits down a short hill, and as your eyes scan the buildings, the small clustered houses sitting too many to a single lot, your heart drops. The shoreline has pulled back from the docks. Boats are overturned, blackened seaweed sits covered across the mud floor of the shore, and for a moment the icy January wind moves through you, sending a chill up your spine. Then, as if it never left, the fog shifts once again and covers the town below you. You watch it move. It almost seems to take on a life of its own. At the back of the hospital, bordering the hills beyond the town, the fog was so thick you could barely see beyond your feet, yet here on the path that leads down towards the town, the single lone road, the fog reveals at least 30 feet before you, in any direction. As you each share a knowing look, Catherine Sullivan, the violinist that you woke up next to, speaks. "So what now?" she says, turning to you as you stand before the car in the parking lot.
Well, I think we need to find somewhere safe for the time being, don't we?
We certainly have to get away from this hospital and those things.
Maybe find some warmer clothes.
It is cold.
Yeah, you're still wearing your sort of blood-soaked uniform that you started the whole cruise with, Cedric. You're wearing this like now in tatters after it's been through a boating accident and various
stab
wounds. Yeah, you've taken quite a beating. And
how's Jan looking?
I mean, I think he recently got some.
You got a pitchfork to the face.
Oh yeah!
Oh my God! Yeah.
important fact. Yeah, he's looking pretty pale. I think it's just an ugly mess up there, swollen and bloody and not friendly.
It definitely adds character though.
But there's no grin on his face. Let's be clear.
And that's a very comforting thing for Catherine as she sort of turns to you guys. So safe, okay, so somewhere safe. So where the hell could that be?
Well, as I was reading in Dr. Cunningham's notes, there was a police attendance at the scene of the boat crash. Maybe we should start there.
Raymond, the southern, I want to say bell, but bellboy, sort of speaks up and he says, "Oh, Miss Saltzman, do you really think we ought to venture into town with this fog? Maybe we should just head back in the hospital and find a quiet corner and just stay put until people come for help."
No, I don't think so, Raymond. That's a bad idea.
I don't know if people are going to come for help. Seems like whatever was affecting that boat is affecting this town as well. And the longer we leave things, the worse things are going to get. That's the way I look at it.
"Oh, okay, Mr. Benson," says Raymond. Again, he's sort of always looked up to you when he stole Jan's watch. And you sort of confronted him over it. He immediately fessed up and had ever since then has sort of a combination of shame around you and sort of fatherly appreciation. And he sort of nods and steps back. Abdul's been quiet this time, and he's sort of surveying the fog now where the town once stood, and he turns towards everyone, having been sort of a part of the conversation. I'm concerned. Did anyone else notice that the water had receded from the shoreline?
Yeah, it's looking pretty grim out there. I can't explain that. Is that not? I mean, I haven't seen a tide like that ever.
No, me neither. And it's a good 30, 50 feet exposing the water. There's no tide that would do that.
You don't suppose that we're in for a tsunami, do you?
I don't know. That's not my area of expertise, unfortunately. And he sort of looks down and walks away. So, the three of you, again, are standing in the parking lot out front of a vehicle that you do have the keys to.
Yeah, Petra took that key from behind a painting?
No, that was in the desk drawer of the Dr. McCullough's and Dr. Stevens' office. It was in the messy drawer.
Does the car look like it will seat 6?
That's a really good question. Let's say sure, because it's probably the most inconsequential thing of a game like this.
Yeah,
this is back in the days when like they had like big benches in the front seat
yeah,
and the back seat for the console.
Yeah.
I've totally sat in the middle seat in the front of a car when I was young.
Yeah.
When you had to fit as many kids in the car, probably going to a birthday party at a bowling alley. Okay, so Petra gets into the front seat of the car and rolls down the window and hangs herself out the driver's seat and goes, well, we're definitely not staying here. Get in.
Yeah, Jan will open the door on the other side and sort of help somebody else get in the seat, in the middle seat.
Raymond's probably the littlest, right?
Yeah, he's just a little thin southern boy. I don't know why that brings me such joy.
Just the littlest bellhop.
Just a little southern sweet bellhop. Yeah, and let's say the 3 NPCs are in the back. So the unimportant aspect of the car.
Oh, wait. So Raymond's not in the middle.
Well, I'm thinking Raymond's in the middle of the back with Abdul and Catherine. Well, that way the attention can be in the front.
Sure. We don't have to keep switching the camera angle from
Hey, listen,
front to back.
up here it's all in camera angles. Yeah, so you're in the car and it fires up relatively easily. So you're driving, Petra.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, woman driver. I'm just kidding. I think you have the highest drive roll actually ever. Everybody.
Of course, because I like fun automobiles.
Since I'm sitting in the front seat and I have a spectacular view, I'm gonna do a spot hidden so that I can help guide her.
Great
Ooh,
idea.
thank you.
I'm gonna say that in a bonus die situation. So you're gonna be doing drive auto tests, obviously, because you're driving in fog.
Yes, sir.
But he's gonna give you a bonus die because he is actively going to be helping watch. But your attention.
You want me to roll that now?
Yeah, well, whenever you decide to drive off the cliff.
Off the cliff?
Yeah, no, start to drive into the town.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me a ride. Turn me a drive.
Before she puts it into gear, she's like adjusting the rear view mirror and adjusting the seat a little bit. And she looks back at her companions in the car and then to the side at everyone's blood-stained clothes and appearance. And she goes, just a moment, everyone. Now, we look fright. I personally look, well, I've looked better. What kind of a story are we going to tell people in town? Do we want folks to know that we are survivors from this boat wreck? Or
I mean, I think it's a little situational. I mean, if we're eventually trying to find the woman who's got the boy, I mean, if we want to see the boy, our best answer is we met him on the boat, right? But maybe for everybody else, I mean, it's hard to explain some of the rest of this. It's all pretty weird.
I can't explain any reason why we would lie. I mean, the only thing I can think of is trying to find that obelisk. I mean, it might be very strange to say that we're looking for a big black rock, but other than that, I don't really know why we would lie to people.
There's something fishy going on here. Now, in Dr. Cunningham's note, he indicates that the sheriff was preventing him and Deputy Patterson from thoroughly examining the ship, and he dismissed Deputy Patterson from his post. He fired him from the police force just for indicating that he wanted to continue thoroughly searching the ship. I think that's fishy, don't you?
Abdul sort of has a furrowed brow from the back seat. That does seem quite suspect. Why would he do such a thing?
It's a great question, and I don't have the answer, but I have a feeling that if we stumble in there looking like we belong to the roster of that ship, that we were at the hospital, we're not going to get the full story.
I think you're right. Which means we would need to work to cover our appearances somehow. Petra, you have a rather large head bandage on and a black eye. Do you know how to use makeup? Perchance?
I don't know.
My time to shine! What is everyone's disguise roll? Just out of curiosity.
Oh,
not good.
Yeah, not great.
Okay,
bad.
I'm just curious. I've never actually used it in a game, and this would probably be a good chance to. So, let's say, I mean, however you want to play it, but I think I'm going to say with knowingly trying to change your appearance, let's say you're going to get a temporary boost of about 20% each to your disguise roll. It's temporary.
What if we don't change our appearances, but we come up with a story?
Oh, that's better, yeah.
Let's say we were in a car accident. In the fog, of course. It's very dangerous out on the roads. That's all the explanation we need. Right?
Was just driving through when the fog came up, yeah?
Well, yeah, no one's going to inspect our car, I'm sure. I'll take off my bandage, so it seems like we've been untreated, and there you go.
Why don't you give me an idea roll real quick?
Right.
Just because I don't want to offer NPC advice without just cause.
Don't tell me nothing.
Yeah. Abdul
All
stays
right, I got
quiet.
ideas. Let's get in on this.
This will be for Raymond. See if Raymond comes with an idea.
I got a success.
Okay, and Raymond pipes in just that's a good idea, Miss Saltzman. Whose car is this? I mean, if we're going under the guise of being in an accident and someone happens to spot our car, I mean, it doesn't look like there's an accident on it, but at the very least, we should make sure that there's no one that can tell whose car this is. Is there something in the glove box? Or maybe...
Well, Petra knows quite a bit about cars. Is this a fancy car? Belonging to someone of higher status, like a doctor, perhaps?
Yes, but I don't want to be the misleading. It's a mid to low tier car. I mean, ostensibly you found this in the desk drawer of the murdered Dr. Luke McCullough. Being that he's the only body you saw inside and it's the only car in the parking lot.
There must be some registration. Jan, would you be a dear and pop that open for me, please?
Absolutely, yeah. I'll open the glove box and rifle through any papers that I see there.
Yeah, and you see immediately, yes, it is registered to a Luke McCullough, a doctor. That's about the extent.
Is there anything besides paper there?
A pack of cigarettes.
Okay. Be a weird time to take up smoking with extra holes in my face. So.
Or the best time. Yeah.
Chimney.
And Raymond sort of sits back and says, all right, so we're saying we got in an accident. I think I can do that. I mean, we might stay in the car for anything you do, but...
Can any of you drive back there if we all got out of the car and you need to get away?
Yes.
That's all of them put together. They all say
all
yes.
three of them. They're going to do like 3 short people in a coat, creating one
As
person.
long as you have no problem leaving us when we're in danger, that's fine.
Exactly. That's what we do best as NPCs.
Okay. So where should we go? And she shifts it into gear and takes off slowly down the highway. Did you want me to roll drive auto?
Please. Yeah. So again, Morden Memorial Hospital has a singular large parking lot and a lone road that leads down sort of a windy road. Well, that's not good. Oh, but you roll...
Maybe if I get in a car accident, then it'll be
more authentic.
believable.
Well, but remember, you roll a bonus die because Cedric is actively helping you.
So 91, but I'm going to reset and re-roll for the tens column, and that's 21.
That's pretty much better. So what is your drive anyway?
30, so I succeed.
Ooh, brilliant. Okay, yeah. That seems pretty straightforward, so you can find the exit of the parking lot pretty easily. You head down the lone road the hospital sits at the end of, traveling towards the small town at the bottom of the hill. The hill sort of rises on either side of you, and you see the fading brown dead grass on either sides of these hills as the road brings you down into the belly of the town. As you reach the end of the lane, the buildings begin coming into view through the thick fog before you. You're sort of just crawling along, the whir of the engine, the only sound against the backdrop of the off-putting, thick white fog. The walls of the buildings, made of cobblestone and wood, sort of emerge from the smoky mist like a boat parting from the mist. And for the first time, you get a true sense of Leary. The buildings that line either side of the street sit, again, close together, creating small passageways between them. Moss-covered alleys with large overhanging roofs that shield them from what sun would be. Dingy muck, water dripping in each small passage and alley. Some look like they descend even deeper down between these buildings into the sewer system, which itself seems omnipresent. Looking through the glass windows, each of you sees large grates that line streets and corners. Raymond cranks down his window, and immediately the sickly sweet smell wafts in of sort of rot. And he closes it right back. As you continue along this main street, they twist and turn as you venture sort of deeper into town, the walls of the buildings feeling more and more claustrophobic. You get a sense almost of two different worlds as you move in, because the buildings slowly get a little newer. And as you move past, only slightly I should say, the outside buildings are centuries old. These buildings look only maybe 50 years to 100 years. And you kind of come to an opening in the buildings. It sort of becomes a little bit clearer, and the large area to your right looks to be sort of a town square as sorts. Tall, brown grass sits sort of squished over. The snow, again, has yet to hit Leary, despite it being January. There's a fountain in the center that looks dilapidated and broken, pieces of stone falling off onto the ground. And as you bring the engine down, you see sort of a series of buildings around this square lining it.
Petra pulls carefully into a diagonal parking spot and cuts the engine. All right. Where to first?
Why don't you give me a spot hidden, see if you can decipher some of these buildings.
Great.
We all look around as the camera pans around us.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
The camera sort of does this, I don't like the camera thing. You look around. That's a Joe thing. I've never gotten into that. You look around the square. That wasn't a dig, by the way. Sorry. I think it's a great tool. I think it's very unique to you. That's why. I don't want to steal it. You kind of look around the square. The buildings that border it, again, are sort of the oldest in this area. You reached a few newer ones that are on the cusp behind you. But as you scan the horizon of this edge, you see some of these roofs look a bit almost dilapidated, turned. And as you continue scanning to the right, you see a large building, maybe closed or again, shut down because they're no longer able to function. And you look to the row of houses before you, and it looks to be maybe a few shops that have closed as well, but maybe 3 or 4 buildings up ahead. You can scarcely make out, but in faded gray paint it does say Leary Police Station.
So we've got a town hall, boarded up buildings, some closed shops, Leary Police Station. Did I miss anything? Petra rolled an 11.
Oh, okay.
Critical or extreme? Which one's the better one?
Extreme.
Yeah, extreme success. That's me.
Okay, that's me. I'm extreme success over here.
That's me.
Let's see. Is there anything else you see? Yeah, you notice a pretty large building past the town hall to the left. There's a small short street, but the building actually reaches higher above, and you only catch it for a moment because the fog sort of drifts past and leaves sort of a slight space. I should say that the area of these buildings, only the facades are sort of reaching the edge of the fog, and that's about it. You can't even see beyond those. But for a brief moment, you do see a larger building beyond the town hall, one that seems almost out of place.
While everybody's standing outside the car looking around, I think I'm just trying to close my eyes and just listen to see if I hear any movement or any other people or anything coming near us or that's noticed us now that the sound of the car is
Such a great idea. Yeah, give me a Lily.
What approximate time of day is it?
Super duper success.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah, you hear a few things. First and foremost, down the street, you sort of hear a rummaging, like an animal in garbage or something. But you also hear something that's almost imperceptible to anybody else. It's like the drone of an engine that you have become used to on your very short stint on the ship. There's an ability that we have to sort of ignore these sounds because they're so low in frequency or so monotone or so omnipresent that you just sort of put them out of your mind and you're not able to decipher them. But you have. As you stand there, you realize there's this sort of low hum. And for a moment, you kind of are taken aback thinking that it's sort of the rumble of an engine way, way in the distance. But it doesn't sound not homogeneous. It doesn't sound uniform. It sounds almost sporadic. While the tone remains the same volume, it seems almost like it's made by a voice.
Does that have a direction associated with it, or if I walk sort of around?
No, it just seems everywhere. And that's why I think, or that's why you think it's so difficult to pick up, because it just feels everywhere. In fact, you kind of realize, and you can try, but even to point it out to somebody that doesn't have the sort of training that you have, no one would really notice it. It's just sort of there. So yeah.
You guys can hear that? The noise?
I hear a bit of rustling, but
no, beneath that there's a rumbling, like someone talking. I just can't figure out where.
Well, there's a sewer system underneath this town. Might just be the rumbling of the water beneath it. Maybe water treatment plant.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't hear anything though.
We'll have to.
I don't have those piano tuner's ears.
I'll keep my ears out then. Have you found the police station?
It looks like just over that way. And Petra's sort of peering through the mist at this, as of yet, unnamed large building past the town hall.
Raymond sort of looks uncomfortable, and he looks towards Abdul, who's sort of taken him a bit under his wing in the times that Cedric needs to step away. And he kind of says, perhaps it'd be best that we stay here by the vehicle. I don't see any other cars around here. And in fact, there are no other cars in the street, no people on the street. And other than that rustling down the way and the omnipresent hum that no one can hear but Yan, it's silent in this town.
That boarded up building, is that boarded up on the outside or the inside?
It looks like it's boarded up on the outside.
So they're trying to keep something in. Or it's just, how old do these boards look? Do they look like they've been up there for a while?
Sort of kitty corner to where you're standing right now. You can go over and take a look.
Yeah, I might walk over that way and just kind of peruse around while the others decide where to go.
Sure. So you take sort of a leisurely walk across the dirt road and the cobblestone streets, and as you walk and come farther and farther away from the car and from your friends, this eerie sense of discomfort sets upon you like a cloak. The distance between you and them is minimal at most. It's 5, 6, 7 feet as you walk, but with each step, the pit of your stomach drops lower and lower. A sense of uneasiness as they sort of begin to fade into the fog sets across you as you move across the road. You can still see them, but the distance feels so much farther with the gray light that surrounds them.
In that case, I'm going to stop.
Okay.
I'm starting to feel just that threshold of fear that something about this fog doesn't feel right, and I'm going to make my way back to them without investigating.
And upon returning to them, again, with each step, it feels like coming up to the surface of a deep water. And standing next to Jan and Petra again, you, like, feel at ease.
All right, Cedric?
Yeah, I just get the feeling that we shouldn't separate, even if it's just, 10 feet or however far I was gone. Something's
Fair.
off with this fog.
That's fine. What were you going to go investigate?
That building over there, it's boarded up. I want to know when it was boarded up, if this was something that was recent or if it happened before the crash.
She offers her arm out to one side and then offers her other arm out to the other side.
Cute.
A la Dorothy.
Yeah. Let's all go.
We're off to see the building. The
it.
covered building of Oz.
Stride across the street together.
Perfect. Yeah, so you head across the street, and I'm going to say the other three talk, and they decide to stay by the car to keep it safe in case anyone wants to steal it. And as you head across the street, you see the boarded buildings of what looks like maybe was once a produce store, maybe candy store. You're not too sure. It just has a generic name. Ralph's Goods. And it's tough to tell which those goods were. But the large boards in the windows are sort of soaked in water over the age, sort of a deep, dark brown. And they look pretty old. The nails that have been hammered into the boards that cover the windows are rusted and deep within the wood.
All right, well, where to next? Should we hit up that police station there?
I'd say so.
It's the best place to start. Maybe there's a map or something there. We can figure out where everything is in this town.
All right, let's.
Okay, so just to be clear, we are saying that we were in a car accident.
That's right.
Just passing through.
Just passing through. We've been driving for a long time. All right. If you don't mind, I'm not very good at lying myself, so I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, who's got the highest, what would it be? There's no deception here.
Fast talk? Or
Fast talk?
depending.
Persuade?
I'm very charming, but not very persuasive.
Just like
I've got
real life.
25
An
in
insult,
persuade.
I got an 18 in persuade and nothing in fast talk.
All right. Well, what? Excuse me. Let's go. I'll take the lead, I suppose.
All right.
Perfect. And you head back towards the car. Raymond, Catherine, and Abdul decide to go back inside the car. And Abdul sort of waits outside for you and just says, "We'll be out here. If you need anything, just come out and let us know." And he sits back inside. And again, sitting off the main street of Leary, you see the broken and faded exterior of the police station. The cement steps leading to the front door are broken. Spurts of dry brown grass grow out from them as you ascend. The stone facade of the building looks as though it's never been washed, and the windows that face the street are closed with storm shutters. There's an eerie sense of stillness, the same stillness that you felt since entering this town as you stand before the large double doors that lead inside. The building almost looks vacant, but as you reach for the front door and pull, they are open. Do you enter?
Yes!
In which order?
Me first.
Okay.
I'll go next. I think maybe Jan will reach down and put his hand on the pistol that he's still got.
Okay.
Not like drawing it, just to like reassure him that there's.
And I'll follow at the rear. And so now, does the screen go black? And then
it's just a loading screen.
Door.
Yeah.
Just a single door open.
Old Resident Evil. I've seen that reference now. Yeah, so you enter the lobby. The dim greenish light of the lobby sits uneasy in your stomach as you step inside. Ahead, I should say above you, there's a slowly rotating fan that makes little to no noise. In front of you, there's a front desk cut out of the wall with a rolling shutter that has been pulled up, but it doesn't seem like anyone's sitting behind it. To either side of you are bathrooms, a men's room and a woman's room. And there is a door leading to a hallway that is shut to your left and a hallway that branches to your right. Additionally,
There's no one in the room right now.
correct. And there is a map on the wall next to the front door.
Sweet.
Nice.
You have unlocked map. I will be posting it right now in the Cthulhu handout section.
Right now.
There you go.
Cool.
And feel free to screen share if you would like.
I'll screen share.
Perfect.
So, we're in the lobby. There's restrooms to either side. And there's no one behind the front desk.
Correct.
I'm just gonna peek my head in the restroom beside the right of us just to make sure it's empty.
Just make sure some guy's not trying to
You never
do
know.
his business.
Drop a deuce.
Who does number two
God, are you
work for?
I've been in here for 4 hours.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
it's a scary place sometimes.
It's empty. You open the bathroom door and sort of the lights flicker for a moment in an uncomfortable way. Again, silently you stand in the doorway of that bathroom. The single drip from a faucet just sort of runs up your spine, and you shut the door again and take a step back.
Is that hum still here, or is it gone down, that low droning?
Yeah, it doesn't. It seems to be outside.
Okay.
So here's the funny thing about maps, is if everything is labeled and then one room is not labeled, that automatically becomes the most interesting room. Right beside file room number 5.
File room B?
That's B.
Oh, B.
If you download it,
Yes.
it can be higher res and you can share it a bit clearer.
Yeah,
'cause-
maybe I'll do that.
Yeah,
All right.
because it's a bit small for the viewers at home.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, this is the police station.
Petra walks into the room, and while there's no one behind the front desk, she would like to kind of lean forward and see if there's any important paperwork.
Okay. You.
Just being a bit of a snoop.
Yeah, so you lean over. It's a pretty large opening. The front desk is made of a dark wood, has a number of files on it, some pens. It looks well used, looks like the center of activity for the front area. There's cabinets that line the walls, and sort of under the little overhang, there's a picture of a woman and a child that sits behind it. You want to do like a spot hidden?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I will roll it now.
Thank you for letting us know.
I did a great job.
You
did
a great job.
Did a hard success.
Okay. Yeah, it looks as someone has been here already. There's like a blazer draped over the back of the chair, and a number of files that look like they've been pulled out and placed directly on it. You sort of shift the files a little bit, and there's a sticky note left on the desk, which is in the Cthulhu Handsets.
It reads, I've looked in the storage room for the spare key to exit Deputy Patterson's office. However, I'm choosing not to spend this evening rummaging around in the dark trying to find it. Instead, you can replace the light bulb in there and spend your morning getting it for me. That's your responsibility after all. I'll collect it from you tomorrow morning. Hunt. Fascinating. Any ideas? Petra picks it up and waves it around.
So you move the evidence, I see.
So the key is in the storage room and she didn't want to get it?
Hunt looked in the storage room for the spare key to ex-Deputy Patterson's office, but could not find it because it's dark in there. The light bulb needs to be replaced. And after showing it to the three of you, or the two of you, she does put it back on the file.
Give me a luck roll to see if you put it back the right way.
For real?
Just to see if it's 100%.
Sure.
I'm just curious. Like, is it, you know, would it be noticeable? Or you're like, did you think to look? That's all I mean, you know?
It's a success.
Okay. Yeah, it goes back probably how it was supposed to. I'm just curious, you know what I mean? Like, if you took something up and you didn't even think, you're like, oh shit, how is this looking? Like, I'm curious if you remembered to put it back. That's all.
So, without really thinking, I walk over to one of the light fixtures and I unscrew one of the light bulbs in the lobby.
So the lobby bulbs are sort of the large, long halogen.
Oh, fluorescent.
Yeah, there's no real, like... if you want to give me a luck roll, maybe she's got a desk lamp behind the front desk.
There was a flickering light in the male restroom.
Yeah, it was still a halogen one.
Fluorescent? Sure, I'll do a luck roll.
But I like the idea. I just very much pictured those long, annoying lights.
Flickery light.
I don't know if those are 1920s style.
These ones are now. These are super 1920s.
Ooh, luck is good.
Perfect. Yeah, she has a small lamp on her desk, and yeah, you can unscrew the bulb there if you wanted.
So can we actually like hop the desk? Do we have to go around to get in there?
You can hop it. You can do whatever you want. You
Petra hops the desk.
Nice. Just do a climb to see how graceful you are.
Oh, I'm gonna be so graceful.
Is it like, or is it like?
It's very extremely.
Oh my god! Yeah. So you land silent. In fact, you like slip off your shoes and like hop over and land silently, and then put them back on.
She quickly goes through the blazer that's hanging on the back of the chair.
Yeah, it's just sort of like a light blazer. It doesn't seem like
it looks like a female.
It does. It's pretty
Okay.
old and in bad disrepair. Like, you are immediately sort of off put by it. This almost looks like a blade has been handed down a few generations.
She just runs a quick hand underneath the surface of the desk.
Nice. Yeah. No, just you get a splinter. No, there's nothing.
Oh, fuck! And she hops back over the desk, gazelle-like.
Very
Slip
gazelle-like. Yeah. I won't make you roll because you have an extreme, and you're silently on the other side of the desk.
Okay.
Perfect.
To the storage room?
Sure, let's check it out.
All right.
Okay. I gotta go to that door that's leading to the hallway towards the storage room.
And it's got a combination lock on it.
Damn it.
Like sort of a built-in one, which totally
Hey,
exists in the 1920s.
What about that door behind the front desk? Does that look like...
It was actually open.
Ah.
Let's
go that way.
take a look in there quick. Just
Yeah.
to
So you can...
see.
Yeah, Petra did such a success. She can hop back over pretty easily, push that door open, and you can probably open it from behind if you so.
Yeah,
wish.
she does.
Perfect. So as you exit the front desk to that small hallway, before you open the door, you glance to the right down the hallway to the storage room, and the hallway looks a bit foggy. It looks like the far end of it is sort of has a bit of an off mist to it, and for a moment you glance and notice the fog and turn back, and then you stop and look back towards the end of the hall again. And there, at the end of the hall on the floor, you see what looks to be someone's feet.
Shit.
The hell?
So you turn and you open. Yeah. What's that, sorry?
The feet, like they're cut off and just laying there, or feet and they're connected to a body that disappears into the
It
mist?
depends how much Petra's looking or looking away or what. Because this is before she's unlocked the door to the hallway. Are you kind of continuing your action? Are you stopping, Petra? It's sort of one of those old classic movie double takes where you look once and you're doing your thing, and then you're like, do I look back? Or are you like continuing your action?
She looks back at the feet and then quickly opens the door for her companions. She doesn't investigate it by herself.
Okay, so you do look back at the feet and open the door, and what you see as each of you sort of look down the hall, you see blood staining the floor and some of the walls near the back door. Again, there's sort of a foggy haze to this area, but it looks like someone's lower torso. But it's not around the corner. It looks like a severed torso.
So, like, severed at the hips?
Exactly. And I'm going to make everyone roll sanity. I'm going to ask politely everyone to roll sanity, please. No, I don't want to make anybody do that.
I'm going to politely decline.
Then I'm going to make you do it.
I succeeded.
Petra fails.
Everyone who fails takes 1 point.
1 point.
Sorry, everyone who succeeds takes 1 point. Everyone who fails takes 1d4. Sorry.
Blah.
Did I say 1 time? I mean, I'm a million points. Take a million points. Yeah, and you each sort of see this at the bottom of the hallway, the end of the hallway.
I think Jan sort of looks at it and puts his hand on his own wounds on his face and just like grimaces and imagines how much that must have felt awful, feeling like his own wounds. But it's seen so much carnage at the moment.
And Cedric starts
Maybe Raymond
laughing.
was right. Maybe Raymond was right. Maybe we should just, find ourselves a nice place to relax, hole up, and wait for this whole thing to blow over, I mean, it's not like they're going anywhere.
No, Cedric. We can't hole up anywhere. The police station isn't safe. The hospital's not safe. Do you understand? There's something very wrong here.
It's that obelisk. We have to find it. It's the only... I mean, none of this makes any sense, but that's the closest thing we've come to an explanation.
We're not safe. We're not safe here. We have to find some weapons.
Okay.
Are you checking that mysterious room to the left, Cedric? The room that you're super curious about? The monster room?
Why wouldn't it be labeled? Yeah, I am curious about that. With a chuckle, I reach for the door handle and turn it.
And it opens. The room is completely black inside. Do you continue?
Hello?
Your voice sort of echoes to an empty space, and you feel the chill of this room on your wrist as you go to push the door open further. Do you continue?
I turn back and look at the others.
What's in there?
It's black. I'm going in. And I open the door and I step in.
And the dim light of the hallway illuminates just the passageway before you, but in the darkness you can see a single chair and a table and another chair. It looks like an interview room.
Is there a lamp on the desk in the interview room?
Nope, but there's a light switch on the wall that you can flick on and the lights come on, and yeah, it's just a stone wall interview room. And it wasn't labeled because...
Find a light bulb?
Why not? What?
Did we find a light bulb?
Yeah, he took one from the lamp.
Okay.
Yep. So, you move down the hallway. As you approach, you see the skirted bottom of a middle-aged woman's, her upper half torn completely off. based on the deep red stains on the bottom half of the security door. It looks like it was pulled through the door. Her innards are scattered about in the hallway, and the sticky scent of blood fills your nostrils as you sort of glance at the remains. The fog at this end of the hall feels thicker, even inside the building.
You said security door.
Yeah, so there's a back door there that has like a push bar on it.
Okay, so it looks like gore leads outside.
Bingo bango.
All right. Petra steps delicately over the entrails and tarry blood and tries to open the door to the storage room.
Not the security door? Not the one that you got pulled through?
No.
As you walk by, you hear like... Do you actually do a listen roll? You being sort of the first person to walk by this.
All right. I rolled a success.
Yeah, you hear sort of like almost like a long fingernail tapping on metal, and it feels like it's maybe on the security door from outside.
She doesn't open it.
Okay, just check it.
She continues to not open that door.
That's probably a good call. Just check it. This is where...
Why isn't she opening it? I'm going to go open it.
Are you?
Just kidding. No, I'm not.
So yeah, you move past it. Yan, Cedric, you do the same?
Yeah. Not opening that door.
Yeah. And you get to the storage door, you open it up, and it's, again, completely black on the inside.
All right. Where's the light fixture? She looks around, opens the door more widely in from the hallway to cast a little bit of extra light on the room.
Perfect. And there is a lone bulb hanging from, the roof. And Cedric, assumingly you reach up and screw one in?
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Perfect. And for a second, you're a bit startled. Light bathes the room, the switch having already been on, and you're face to face with an assortment of random items, some gear, some like riot gear.
Fuck yeah.
Well, okay, hold on. Let me be careful.
What was riot gear in the 20s?
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna say there's like a few bats or whatever the fuck they'd use. I don't think you'd need riot gear. It's just a business suit.
Mohair.
It's a wig, a really thick powder wig.
This is for the riots.
Is there anything specifically you wish would be in here, or I can give you a luck roll?
Pedro doesn't have a gun anymore. You said that when she woke up in the hospital, it wasn't there.
Correct. Although Cedric or Yan said he cocked his gun. Why did he say that?
I thought we picked one up.
No.
Stuff was in the storage room with the clothes and stuff. Or was it not
Our
there?
weapons were missing.
No, your guns were gone, so you don't have a gun.
Okay.
That was my bad. But I mean, I don't think there would be any in storage. No, it wouldn't be any in storage. But if there's anything else reasonable that you'd like to see in storage, I'm happy to chance it.
Billy Club?
Yeah, if there was a baton there.
I think there's definitely one baton. I can luck it for a second if you'd like.
You're gonna luck it?
No, I mean like you can give me a roll for to see if there's a second Billy Club. Billy Club? Billy Club, Gruff.
Billy Club, yeah.
Oh, you know what? Might as well look at the Call of Cthulhu sheet.
Great idea.
My luck is a fail.
Okay. Oof. Yeah. No, there's no secondary.
The one. Is there a flashlight?
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, I'll say there's a. I'm not gonna say it's not a heavy flashlight. Like if you hit someone with it'll break, but definitely a flashlight.
Petra's gonna take the flashlight.
Perfect, but no batteries. No, I'm just kidding. And on the wall behind the door is an assortment of keys, labeled with different labels.
We take all of them.
Do you actually?
Why wouldn't we?
Okay. You have briefing room, hall key, file rooms, and deputy's office.
Good.
Is there a war boomerang in here?
No.
No. Okay.
There's a piece of wood.
What about a bed?
There's two beds.
I'm looking at nightstick. Nightstick.
Yeah.
As a weapon. Can I look for that and see if I find it where
no,
Rob didn't?
Rob already did the luck roll. You got one luck roll for the second, but you do have one, so you can steal it from Petra if you want.
Wait, one luck roll?
Oh, Petra just took the flashlight. She didn't take the...
Yeah, I was just giving you a collective luck roll for a second nightstick.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. So if nobody wants to take the club, I'll take the club.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I was really hoping for I was hoping for a croquet ball wrapped in a pantyhose. But
there's always time.
One could only hope.
There's only time, but there's no pantyhose in here. Or
I don't know. There were some on the severed torso.
Sorry, I need these guys.
Start unrolling them from this corpse.
Oh, Cedric, you poor soul.
What else?
Poor soul.
Sheriff's office's weapons, bag of oranges. I'm just looking in the Discord here.
Bag of
oranges.
Oh god, that's good. Tear gas?
Cedric will make use of it.
No, I'm going to say that's all you find. You have a flashlight and a club.
And we got some keys.
Or nightstick, I should say. Yes. Briefing room, hall key, file room, and deputy's office. File rooms.
Beautiful. So that door...
With the fingernail tapping?
The fingernail tapping, that's like right north of the storage room door, right?
Bingo, bango. The one that leads outside.
Gotcha.
I don't want to meta this, but I think your impulse to not open it is correct.
Yeah, I don't want it.
This is
tell us what to do.
This is the danger portion of the campaign.
So it was the deputy's wife who has the boy.
That's correct.
Okay. So
ex-deputy.
Ex-city.
I mean, I say we just hit the rooms going counterclockwise back through the station. So file room B first. There's no reason to go into the bullpen and the cells.
Unless to make sure there's not people there.
Not my job. Is that Petra saying that?
Yeah.
Just to poke our heads in.
To what? Save criminals?
Who knows what could be in there? Maybe people have locked themselves in cages for safety.
And they will continue to be safe. Jan, we already have 3 people outside who are tagging along with us. We need to move through this police station as quickly as possible. What happens
then let's not stop at the file room and let's go right to the deputy's office.
All right then.
I'm convinced. Let's do it.
I like the side of Petra where she's like, "Fuck these people."
Peasants.
Save her. You sound like your dad now. They're worthless.
When stressed, Petra's true colors come out.
I'm not my real dad. Like,
no, not your real dad. No, but you know what? I'm gonna say, yeah, Petra, you give me a sanity roll for a second.
All right. Just a minute. I fail again.
Yeah, you hear the words. I mean, I know you didn't say peasant in character, but you kind of said it's not necessary. And as you see Jan's face sort of making the counter argument and he turns away from you, for a moment, the image of your dad with the grin across the lower half of his face flashes in your mind. The words he spoke to the 3 of you as he cut the poor bellboy to death. Him saying that they're lesser than, that they're weaker than, that they're unworthy. It sends a chill up your spine. It doesn't cause any damage, but for a moment you are sort of struck by the...
She rolls the words around in her mind. The memory, the last time she saw her father's face. And it rings true in some deep part of her mind. Like, what am I doing here with these people? And then she dismisses it.
Nice. Okay, so you continue moving on, and where are you heading? Sorry, the deputy's office?
Yeah, I guess so.
Or the bullpen, or the file room?
Cedric, do you have anything to say about that?
Cedric?
What happened to the deputy? I wonder if we can find more information on that. Probably in the deputy's office, but he's the ex-deputy, right?
That's right. He was dismissed by the sheriff on the shore of the crash.
On the shore of the crash?
Yes. At 1500 hours yesterday, the sheriff dismissed the deputy because he wanted to investigate the boat further. How strange. Jan, you know something about the machinations of military and authority. Is there any chance that someone who's disrespecting a more senior officer in a position like this might be dismissed just for their insolence?
I mean, it's always possible. You can be dismissed for a lot of reasons, and in a small operation like this, they can get pretty arbitrary. There isn't a lot of people to appeal to, right?
I'm sure.
But in a high-stress situation like the ship of ours washing up on the shore here, I mean, it could be the sheriff wasn't thinking straight, didn't realize how much work he had in front of him.
You'd think that, given that Arkham PD had been called and no assistance had been given, that the sheriff would want as many hands to help as possible. Given that there is half a body here in the hallway, it would seem that there's more going on beneath the surface.
Yeah, it sounds like the deputy might not have been all that helpful, or the sheriff was not thinking with his best head.
I wonder if we are alone here.
Well, you heard the tapping on the door. We're definitely not alone here. It's maybe why we get to look in all the other rooms to make sure we're not leaving people behind us. But let's just get to this deputy's office.
Let's go. We head through the darkened, flickering hallways of the station. Is there any more mist that we encounter on our way to the deputy's office?
No, and as you approach the end of this hallway back to the lobby, the mist sort of stays behind you towards the back of the building.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, you turn the hallway and head down. The sort of deep brown paint over plaster of this police station sits off in your stomach. It feels like covering up stains that have been made centuries ago. The age of this building perplexes you. The floor is so dated, wood with some sort of tile on top of it, and the ceiling is sort of where it truly shows its age. Deep cracks that run along the ceiling, swells of water and stains. The building itself just seems so out of place. And as you head to the deputy's office, you see the short hallway turn to another door that sits closing you off from the remainder of the building in this hallway. And you open the deputy's office, I'm assuming. And a Home Alone style weapon comes down and boing!
Yeah, paint can.
Paint can just fucking kills you. No. Opening the door to the office, you are greeted to the warmest room you've seen in this building so far. Small plants in the corner and a livable workspace greet you. There's a large desk with files neatly stacked on it that sits center of this room. And yeah, this room sort of has a deep green carpet that looks a bit newer than everything else. And while the same color of paint is in this room, it feels like it's done in less of a haphazardly way.
This guy took care of his space.
Certainly seems so. Petra walks over to the desk and starts leafing through the first few pages of whatever is on the desk.
So sitting right on top of the desk is a copy of The Lamplighter, which is the local newspaper, the address printed right under its title, 3 Main Street. And you can give me a spot hidden for his desk, his desky-wesky.
I did it.
Ooh, what is everyone else doing?
Success.
I'm going to sort of explore the rest of his office that isn't desk, if he's got a storage closet somewhere or something.
He does. He has like a rolling...
Yeah. Let's
filing
maybe
cabinet.
leak through there just to see what's going on.
Yeah, give me a spot hidden as well. Cedric?
Well,
I'm gonna stay at the door and just watch down the hallway.
That's a good idea.
Directions.
Give me a listen, Justin, when you do that.
Hard success.
Hard success? Brilliant.
Nice.
And Justin? Justinius Rex?
Oops. Oh, whoa.
390. So yeah, you don't hear anything.
I hear nothing.
Petra, you rifle through his desk, and it seems like he doesn't really use his desk for storage that much. But you do see a piece of mail with his address on it, 44 Sycamore Drive.
Wonderful.
Rob, however, you open the top drawer, which sticks a little bit, and when you pull it open, it's got a thick file that says ongoing investigations. And it jumps out to you immediately for a few reasons. First and foremost, there's a sticky note stuck on top of it that looks recently placed. And there's a bunch of things that seem curious about it. You walk over to the desk and lay it out for Petra to look at as well. And this is the file you see. Oops, I just put it in the wrong thing. Cthulhu handouts. Here we go. This is the file you see. And I will screen share this if someone wants to.
Ongoing investigations.
Yeah.
Cult. The father. Who's the father is scratched on it. October 15th, 1924. Unknown male, naked and confused, found in the woods north of town. Brought in rambling about someone called the father. Also said lodge key. November 22nd, 1924. Braden Bruce, worker at the night fish market, goes missing. November 29th, 1924. Tracy Todd worked as a stock girl at Leary General, goes missing. December 11th, 1924. Clifford Walsh, garbage man, goes missing. Only reported December. Could be earlier. All gone without a trace. Catherine McCarthy file. There's a symbol equals A. Found it, says the sticky note. It's case file number 433. Though I don't know what it's so special about it. You can check the lamplighter yourself. I'm headed to the beach to help. There's a lot going on there.
Catherine McCarthy file. Our companion is Catherine Sullivan?
Yeah,
Sullivan.
and you wouldn't know this, but different spelling of Catherine.
R-Y-N versus
Yeah, I don't know how the hell you know that.
Actually, I seriously wrote it as Catherine with a Y.
So I must have done
I
something.
did too.
I must have pasted the name for you
think
guys.
spelled it for us.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is cool and confusing.
So, and it's, what's the date today? You told us last
Today is the 19th.
Of January 1925.
So it's been a month since the last missing person was reported in this file.
Can y'all see that there's just like some major emergency going
Yeah.
on? Parkdale.
Very thematic.
What do we make of this?
I mean, it sounds like this town was in trouble well before we got here, but maybe we're here because of something going on in this town. I mean, there's the two ways to look at it.
Yeah, without a trace. I don't know, it feels like a distraction, but what was this case file number? 433?
Yes. Maybe we should
can find that in the file room, right?
That's right.
We can take a look. If anybody recognize the symbol? Up the triangle with the line through it.
No, but we'll keep our eye out for it, I guess.
Is there any roll I can make to see if I recognize that? Like an idea or something?
You can. I promise you, you won't be able to recognize it.
All right. I don't recognize that. Damn.
What was our Catherine's last name again?
Sullivan.
Sullivan.
All right. Anything else in this room that seems important? Can I roll just a
General
I don't
spot
know.
head?
yeah, or an idea, whatever you prefer?
Go for yeah.
I succeed on my spot hidden.
No, there doesn't seem to be anything else really in this room that jumps out to you. You do take another look at the ongoing investigations thing, and it seems like everything written down on that file folder is of separate incident than the sticky note. Meaning that you get the impression that the Catherine file is different than whatever case 433 is.
Got it. And the Catherine McCarthy file or 433 are not on the desk?
Correct.
Okay.
You can check the lamplighter yourself. I mean, I have a copy of the lamplighter from his desk.
This is dated January 17th. And you sort of
The lamplighter?
Yes. And you sort of take a leaf through it. Nothing seems to jump out about it.
All right. What do you say we go to the file room?
Let's go.
Sure.
Wait, file room A?
There's an A on this sheet.
Let's
Perfect. So you head back out to the hallway, and you head to the file room next door. Luckily, you have the key as well. And on the outside of the door, there is an empty log sheet bracket. It says log sheets here, but there's nothing actually in the bracket. With a click, you open the door and flick on the lights, and the greenish glow of the overhead lights fill a number of files. And looking at the door, you see it says File Room A, 1900 to present. Each of the stacks are labeled by name and case file, so you can sort of look up either.
Can we look up Catherine McCarthy?
You absolutely can. And you see it.
433.
And you also go to look up 433. So both give me a library use.
Oh boy.
I'll join in on that.
Boy.
Don't call me that.
Oh, no way.
Not you. I'm playing God of War now, and I was playing a bit with Henry listening, and he keeps saying, like, boy, and Henry's like, boy. Like, so cute.
Super duper special deluxe success.
Really? Nice. Okay, so yeah, you realize immediately two things. One, you can point Petra in the direction of the M files, and two, that case file 433 is not in this bracket. It looks like the last 20 years of files, 25 years of files, encompass like 1,000 plus case file numbers, meaning that it's older than this.
So you're saying that M comes after L. All right. She goes through to find McCarthy.
There's two C's, actually.
Oh, I understand. And because it's a little c, how does that work?
It still counts.
Oh, gotcha.
And you find a case report for Catherine McCarthy from 1906, and it is in the handouts now. If someone wants to read that out loud, it is only the first page. It looks like the second page was maybe destroyed. There's some water damage at the bottom of the page, so it's possible that it's just falling apart.
And I'm sorry, this is which file room?
This is file room A, 1900 to present, Catherine McCarthy. There's no case file on this. Doesn't look like it. The sticky must have fallen off.
All right, let's see what this is. Department of Leary Police. Oh, I don't want to enlarge it that much. February 3rd, 1906. Report. Inspector Jonathan Watkins called to scene today. The body of a young woman was found beneath the melted ice north of Leary next to the forest bordering Farmer Graves' property. When questioned, he did not have any knowledge of who may have deposited the body, nor where it may have come from. Based on the decay on the body, it was dropped sometime before winter. The body is of one Catherine McCarthy, a school teacher who had been missing early the year prior, April 12th. She was found with a large portion of her lower torso missing. Deep lacerations in the abdomen had left a great deal of mass cut out. We surveyed the surrounding area and questioned anyone who may have information. Regarding the deaths, however, nothing was gained. Her parents, 22 Ainsling Drive, will be... That's all there is.
That has to be a coincidence, right?
Surely.
Torso?
That's nearly 20 years ago. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
22 Aisling Drive.
I mean, but maybe not. It's a very peculiar way to kill somebody. I mean, think about the barber back on the cruise ship. He killed people the same way. He repeated that again and again and again because that was the most appealing way to kill people. I get the feeling that if someone, a grinner, took the effort to cut this person in half, then there's motivation behind that, and it could be a coincidence.
Grinners 20 years ago?
20 years ago isn't a long time. I was alive then.
I mean,
someone who was 30 is now 50. That's not a big jump.
Well, it's not that there could be a person. It's just the thought of it is so awful.
I'm not saying that they're grinners, but all I'm saying is that it seems that what this stone, this black stone, is doing to people, it's making them live out their wildest fantasies. I mean, like, am I the only one who thinks that?
Oh, you're right. Do you remember what Magda told us? Or Anna, or whatever you want to call her, was that her father brought the stone back from Egypt in 1880s. If we're to believe that the same, I don't know, motivation is behind the murder that we just saw evidence of in the police station, and the one behind this case file, which is a leap, it could be motivated by the same black stone.
Well, let's see what's in file 433. It'll be in the other room.
Right.
You head back out to the hallway and down the sharp turn as you sort of try to avert your gaze from the lower half of the body, which still remains sort of cut off in the back door. And with a click, you open the file room B door, which says 1776 to 1900. However, there is a log sheet outside of this room.
What does it say?
Wouldn't you like to know? Oh, you want to know the log sheet? Well, it just, I posted it in the handouts.
And I eat it. All right.
And that's that.
Interesting.
Yeah. You enter the small file room, doing the same sort of library use that you do, checking in the appropriate cabinets, and you see Jan case 430, 431, 432, and then 434. You quickly check to see if it's been misplaced in another filing cabinet, but you scout around this entire room and realize that it's seemingly nowhere to be found.
The file's been removed.
And we are going to stop there for the mid-game post. Sorry. I didn't want to cut you off. It was a good line. I wanted to get in there quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Call of Cthulhu Part 6. My name is always Mr. Harlan Guthrie, and I am here with the lusciously beautiful Mr. Rob Dio Bald.
How's it going?
The handsome Mr. Justin Thomas James. And the lovely Ms. Jo Fallak.
Hello.
And we're here with Call of Cthulhu. It's of course an 18+ show. If you are not comfortable with no words and torsos being decapitated, not decapitated, torsionated, debonated, bisected, then you don't have to watch this video. But if you are watching and if you like us, please like the video right now. It makes us feel really, really special. This campaign has been so much fun to do. We are so excited. So sorry that we weren't here last week. I was deathly ill, not deathly ill, but I was very, very sick. My son had hand, foot, and mouth, and I got a fellow disease, or illness, I should say, like a buddy disease called something gross, and it just was not fun. So that's over now, and we're back. So thank you so much for hanging out. A big shout out and appreciation to our Patreon supporters. Our Patreon supporters are people who have tirelessly been donating to us to allow us to do these awesome streams. So thank you so much to you, amazing Patreon supporters, for doing this for us. And thank you to everybody who's considering joining, and I hope you do. I do want to say that these gorgeous, fabulous, sexy Patreon supporters have given us the ability to do something really, really special. And coming up this year, at the beginning of August, Justin, Joe, and myself are all going to be heading to Gen Con.
So exciting.
So exciting. I know we mentioned a few weeks ago, but I just wanted to reiterate it. Rob's also going to be there, so if you want to, like, a Call of Cthulhu reunion, you know, let's do it. Let's do it. So yeah, it's really awesome, and you guys have given us the ability to do that because, you know, 3 Canadians who normally get no money for doing this every Wednesday could never justify, especially with me having a kid, and, you know, could never justify flying down to Gen Con just for fun to meet you guys and to play some games. But you made that possible, and we're gonna make a good time of it. We're gonna go out for some drinks. We're gonna play some games. It's gonna be good. So if you're on the fence, don't be anymore.
Yeah, you should show up. Come and sit at a table with us. You know?
Play Chapters of the Undefeated alongside
Why not?
Graham and
Leah and Quintus.
Quintus and Leah.
I have to dust off that fucking Scottish accent.
Yes, I will have to do that.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much again. So Patreon supporters, huge shout out to you. If you are a Patreon supporter, you realize that we've been doing weekly enigmas. The last 2 have been so generously given to us, or I should say worked on for us, by Team Owlbear, the awesome brainchild of the lovely Carly and the handsome Bjorn.
So amazing.
Really good
These two, so good. These two have done such amazing work. I was sick last week, so we didn't say the winner. Or did you end up doing it on the Justin Reads?
No, I did nothing.
Okay.
I just read.
So, I just read, man. Which reminds me, I guess you're doing another Justin Reads next week, aren't you?
That could be arranged.
We haven't talked about that officially, but could you?
Oh, let's talk about it officially.
Well,
let's make it official.
Joe and I are on vacation, and Rob is... I mean, you could do something with Rob if you wanted to join a game. I don't know. But
well, we had a few narrations that we didn't get to last week. That we did actually. We had a lot of fun last week. We did battle stories.
I saw that.
Jinx.
Yeah, which was the suggestion. I can't remember who specifically suggested it, but yeah, we just like compared each scary story based on how many spooks it got, like voted after doing it.
Yeah.
And yeah, there were some good ones. I think Creepypasta, one of the Creepypasta ones won.
Well, it's so cool. I'm glad. It seemed like everyone had a really fun time.
I had a blast.
Now that you have a little bit of a heads up that people know a week in advance that you're maybe going to do Justin Reads, people should submit like true life horror stories or ghost stories that they have from like their life. So I could be like, the house down the street from where I grew up, blah, blah, blah. And you guys can like vote on who has the scariest true to life like ghost story, near death experience, or like, you know, hey, I saw a murder once, or whatever.
That's spooky
shit.
I love that idea. I'm so down to do this. Okay, why don't we make it official? So if you guys are watching this now, whoever's watching, start writing down an experience and make it like no more than 2,000 words, and I'll narrate it on the stream, and we will decide which one is the spookiest experience. And I feel like all of them are going to be spooky if it's actually happened to you. Like,
yeah,
definitely.
When scary things happen to people and you know it actually happened, like moths flying into people's ears, knowing that happened to somebody that we know, that's
very
hard to get out.
Well, that's awesome. So there you go, guys. That's exciting for next week. So the enigma of last week, the winner was, I believe, Mr. Spencer Hellwig was the first to get the...
Good job, Spencer.
I believe. I'll have to double check. This week, I kept it so I don't forget, was the wonderful Tamiko.
Nice.
And because we did it, I'm confused because we did it 2 different ways. We did the Patreon first, and then we did the regular Facebook group. So the first person who got it in the Facebook group was Tamika. The first person who got it in the Patreon was Colin. Colin, bro.
Good job, Colin.
Colin, bro. Which I think is Colin not Carly's boyfriend? Yeah. So you know what? I don't know. There's some fishiness going on there.
Oh, good point. A little bit of.
I'm just kidding. I guarantee Carly was like, I'm not gonna tell you anything. You gotta solve it. So it was really cute. So Colin was the first from the Patreon to get it. Tamika was the first from the regular group to get it. You guys both win. Well done. Last week was Spencer first in the regular, and the person who got it first in the Patreon was immediately notified, I believe, and I forget who that was. So.
Are we doing best post on Facebook too? Because I have a contender.
Yes, MVP. Can you?
Yeah, MVP. Connor Jones is a new Facebook member and shared their first post on February 21st. Any advice on how to be a great DM/keeper? That got 20 comments. A lot of people talking. I love those open-ended questions, so I wanted to give that. Thank you for joining us, Connor, and thanks for the discussion.
Such a great conversation starter. And, you know, if you want to know how to be a good keeper, don't ask me. Because I don't.
Mike Kyle wrote, do what Harlan does, threaten to kill characters off. Yep. And you did.
I definitely did, yeah. My only suggestion in that entire post was say a lot. It works. No, it's just something that I can't help doing.
Oh, what's the other one? Sure enough.
Sure enough, yeah. I see.
You don't really do that very much anymore.
I hope not. Now I'm going to say it. It's like
Connor
yawning.
Connor who?
Jacob?
Connor Jones.
Connor Jones. Calling Connor Jones. Connor Jones. Connor Jones. Wake up now.
Wake up now.
Calling Connor Jones.
Na, 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 na. Was that Aqua?
Yes,
it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we know. Believe me, we know. Yeah, so great stuff this week, guys. Fantastic job, and fantastic job to, of course, Carly and Bjorn again for making this amazing enigma. This week's was especially awesome. What else do we got going on? What's up with you, Rob? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Crunch time, because Breakout's in a couple of weeks.
Why don't you do another shout out for Breakout?
In Toronto. Breakout is a convention that's happening March 15th to 17th in downtown Toronto with a bunch of cool stuff going on. So you should go buy a ticket and come hang out and play games with Harlan and Joe. And it's all good.
It's all good.
All got.
It's all good.
Yeah. Do that. Let's go. Breakout. I'm going to be there. You should be there. Do it. Do it. Do it. I wanted to also talk about Chronicle Brewing. They're upgrading. Well, I love them. I wanted to say, hey guys, it's me. Chronicle's the best ever brewery.
Yep,
they're just really cool. I just want to say them because I like saying them. Johnny, Ted, great people. Chronicle Brewing, go.
Good beer.
Good beer. I should have a beer. No, I can't.
Yeah, you should. Oh yeah, that's right.
But yeah, is there anything else we need to mention? I feel like there's something I'm forgetting.
18 plus show.
I already said that, I think.
Join us on Discord.
I didn't say that. Like the video. I said that, but there's 24 people watching and 19 likes, so.
Maybe 5 people are hate watching.
Maybe they're undecided.
I did see a comment last week's video, which just says, it's just said, does Harlan know he's fat?
Oh no.
I was like, that's kind of like a weird, it's like an insult, but it's also like, I don't know. It's like, no?
Does Justin know he's black?
Yeah. Well, that's not it, but that's not, well, I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends on how you take it. But I thought that was funny. So negative XP to the person who asked that question.
Negative Nancy.
Yeah, who was that? Who can we...
I just thought it was funny. But that was something to talk about. What else? There's a lot of irons in the fire coming up, right? Joe and I were on vacation. That doesn't really matter.
We're going to be at fucking Breakout Con.
Rob already said that while you were going to the restroom. Chronicle. I'm working on some side projects with the lovely Rob and Carly and my good comic buddy, Mr. Adam Davis. But I don't think any of that really matters right now. It's okay. And
I'm just excited for right on vacation. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we all are. Apex is still fun. I want to play it.
Yeah, it is fun. Yeah, we were gonna play this week, but
honestly, it's such a quick game. I needed to be in like a quick mindset, and I wasn't. I like, you know, it's like, and I was like, I'm gonna play Stardew.
Yeah,
just because like.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I'm playing
very different pace.
Because I was like, oh, I just can't get my head around this right now. It's like too much, and I would just get frustrated.
Also, you know, the blueberries are coming in, and you're like, I gotta pick them.
Do the
Gotta
bloobs.
pick them blueberries.
Gotta pick them bloobs.
For Henry.
For hens, for my little boy. That's it. Lots of pregnant people coming up too. Johnny. Oh, I don't know what I'm saying.
Johnny Appleseed.
Johnny Appleseed. There's a lot of people. There's also pregnant people. So congrats to the people.
Congrats if you're pregnant.
I don't remember what I'm supposed to say.
If you're pregnant, then congratulations. If you're not pregnant, then
also congratulations on just being you. Because you just
for those of you who are trying or trying not to be, good luck on that.
Or trying not
to be, good luck.
I also need to get back to Matt Finch. I'm going to talk to you. I know you don't watch this, but just so you know, I can timestamp this and say I haven't forgotten.
Don't know.
It doesn't matter. He's just
now things are getting really obscure.
Yeah, wait. It's going to get weirder. I will call you back. I'm sorry, Mom. No, that's it. All right, I think that's it. Let's go back to this. Oh, Chris. What's up with Chris?
Nothing.
Oh, that, yeah, him. Right?
Hilarious.
All right. Let's do this.
Call of Cthulhu?
I think I'm missing something. I think I'm forgetting something important.
Your passport.
Yeah, that's right. We did MVP. We did.
There's got to be something. We did MVP.
I feel like there's something I'm missing.
Cypher. We talked about the Patreon. We did 18 plus. We talked about Breakout Con. We talked about Gen Con.
TV
movies.
He does have a new movie coming out.
A new movie with what's his face?
Yeah, Woody Harrelson.
This comment is killing me in the Discord. Yeah, well, go meet Harlan. He's significantly thinner than he looks on YouTube.
Hey. That's a.
It's nice. Trust me.
That's a compliment, right? Yeah.
It's definitely
a compliment.
I guess. Just means I look fat.
No, baby, you're 6'4". You are a height-weight proportionate gentleman.
People said I looked like Ben Affleck in the early days. I never saw it.
Are you 6'4"?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
I don't remember you being taller than me.
You just wait. You just wait. Next time
we're gonna have to see. Something's.
We get real big up here in Canada.
You think I'm lying to you, Rob? I'm like faking.
I don't know. I just it's very rare. I feel like I notice people taller than me because I'm 6'3", and so I
have a very disarming personality.
It takes inches off.
I'm like, hey.
All right,
we're always kind of vaguely crouching.
Around Rob.
A little shifty. That's all.
Just shifty. Oh, Colin asked if there's gonna be a spooky stream. Yes, but I don't know when. Maybe
we've been playing fucking Until Dawn.
Oh yes, but we haven't been streaming it. But I love
Until Dawn.
It's like an interactive horror movie on PS4. It's really fucking good.
It's just like a slasher movie, but you play all of the different teens who are in the cabin, and
enjoying it.
I got so
excited. Oscar winner Rami Malek is in it. I can say that now. The dude won an Oscar for Bohemian Rhapsody.
That sounds very much like the game that we ran for.
We were for End of the World, right?
Tales of the Brood. It was.
Yeah. Joe and I were saying that. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking. Oh, you weren't there. That was at a convention. Where the fuck am I? Tales of the Brood.
Where are you?
We ran the Ignorant Farmer, the Growing Up one.
I wasn't there. I was at work.
What was the third one we ran? What's the one that reminds you of Until Dawn? Oh, the horror cabin. Yes, you're right. It does remind me of that. Mm-hmm. Joe and I also ran an End of the World at the convention that Rob went to in Queen City.
Queen City Conquest.
And it took place at a cabin in the woods. Invicticon it was called. Very similar as well. All right. God, I'm spacing.
You okay? You need some...
Let's do it. From what? Value?
Caffeine.
But, all right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us return to Call of Cthulhu Part 6. You exit file room B to once again see the blood-soaked torso of the woman in the hallway. The uneasy feeling in your stomach as you move back towards the lobby quickly subsides as you each share a knowing glance between the three of you. Case file 433 is not in the file room.
What do you think about checking out the briefing room? We have the key, and maybe if they were talking about this file, it could just be out, not replaced.
It's possible if Hunt was a regular sort of, maybe he's got a desk in the bullpen. Maybe it's on his desk.
Is it? Yeah, it's Sheriff Hunt. Hunt is the sheriff.
So it's Sheriff Hunt's the sheriff, so then maybe it's in the office. That seems much
The office.
Could be in his office, but we don't have a key for the sheriff's office.
Hold on. I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna do a spot hidden in here.
Oh, in the file room?
Yeah.
I'm going to say that there's nothing in there. Yeah, you don't
okay.
have to do it. I sort of moved you to the lobby, but it's, I want to say fairly, there isn't much left in there.
Gotcha.
Because you knew what you were looking for.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, the office is the best bet, I feel, but how are we gonna get in there? We gotta find those keys.
Let's see the briefing room and see what's going on. Maybe the door's open.
All right.
Hope. Perfect. So you head to the north end, the north hallway towards the briefing room in the sheriff's office?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So again, the north hallway door is shut, and luckily you have the key to it. You slide the key in, and with a click you open it up, and immediately you smell sort of this sour stench. It's not so thick as to make you nauseous, but it's noticeable as you open the doorway to the north hallway, and the pit of your stomach drops as you see that the room about halfway in is filled with thick fog, and through it you see the back door swinging listlessly open, the creaking hinges squealing quietly in the morning light.
Okay. Well, I don't intend to go outside. So, Petra turns to the briefing room and slides the key into the door.
As you move towards the briefing room, closer towards the open door, you sort of...
It's like right there.
Yeah. It's what?
Right there. It's right on the other side of the hallway door.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
But I'm going to go and close that door.
Okay, so as you approach, you are sort of slowly walking down the hall, and you realize that on the floor, sort of glinting a little bit in the reflection of the light, is sort of a soft, sort of like a wet streak, almost like a mucus slime across the floor leading out to the listlessly swinging door.
So we have a bad smell, a sticky residue, and a misty exterior.
And just for an idea, a free idea roll, a dead woman at the shut other door.
The top half?
Gone. At the other door. The other door that leads outside, the one that's shut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, there's the other door that's shut. Right.
Yeah, you can see across to the other side.
If you went out this door, yes, you would be able to look.
What are you saying? There's another different dead body?
No, I'm just saying that... Well, why don't you...
Shut the door.
Give me an idea roll. Give me an idea.
Sure.
roll.
Oh, she's a zombie.
Well, no, I'm thinking. So I kneel down and I'm just gonna I'm gonna poke this mucus.
I hate this.
I'm just with the tip of my baton.
Okay.
I got me a hard success on this idea.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're watching Cedric walk towards this open door. And for a moment, you contemplate the events that must have transpired for the scene you've seen earlier. You take a second and you think, okay, so this woman came to work, she saw the sticky note, she began walking towards the storage door, but she was stopped at this door. And as you see Cedric sort of crouch down in front of this opening door, you get the sense of like a trap almost for him. That maybe what she is showing you was the aftermath of what you might be experiencing in a few minutes. If so,
Cedric, do not move. Don't move. Come back.
Cedric, so you reach out and you touch this mucus with the tip of your pen. Yeah. And as you sort of bring it up, you see these long, thin strings of slime drip down, and for a second your eyes move towards the open door, which is maybe 5 feet from you, the thick smoke sort of billowing in the soft gray light from outside, and you can almost see something like a large slug slide past the opening as you hear Yan shout.
I can almost see a large slug slide past the opening?
Yeah, there's sort of like movement, something with like a curvature, almost like a snake body. But before you act, Yan shouts and says,
do not move. I think it's a trap. I just have a feeling in my gut.
All right, but this door's got to close. We can't just leave it open. Anything could come crawling in here.
We've got 2 other doors we can put between us and whatever's out there. Let's pick one of them.
Okay, just a second.
I wonder if that other door wasn't open and half a woman's missing now.
Yeah.
What does Petra think of all this?
Petra's she's just standing there sort of watching Cedric and Jan interact with her hand on the door to the briefing room. Just sort of waiting.
Did you see anything out there?
No. Well, I saw some movement, but...
So Cedric, you do come back or you try to shut the door?
I'm going to come back.
Okay.
I just feel weird leaving it open like that. I'll keep an eye on it. You guys go check out the briefing room. I'll watch and make sure nobody comes while we're in there.
Okay.
Yeah, and you enter the briefing room, and there is a large sort of blank wall for a chalkboard, I should say, where plans and things like that can be dispersed in sort of a briefing table and some chairs where the officers would sit, and then the locked door to the sheriff's office. I will say, Cedric, as you're standing out here in the hallway, you do see, leaning against the wall towards the sheriff's room, there is an open transom window. The word of the day for this campaign.
I love that window.
I know, me too. It's like my favorite thing.
The transom window leads to the sheriff's office.
Correct. But it's from the hallway, meaning you'd have to pass by this open door to get to it. But I mean, you can also just smash down the door if you want. I mean, it's a fucking wood door. It's not a vault.
Right.
Or lockpick it. Or charm the door.
Oh, I can charm it? Okay. Yeah, I will, I'm just going to wait by the door. No sense going for it right now. Might as well wait for them to finish what they're doing.
Just want to look around and see if we can find the missing file in here.
Great idea.
29 looks good. What do I spot stuff?
Spot stuff.
Spot stuff. I got a success.
Spot stuff.
Files.
Yeah, you take a look
Spot
around.
file.
Yeah, you take a look around the briefing room. It doesn't look like there's anything really in here.
Any sign of life from the sheriff's office? You said it's a locked door. Any sign of light coming from inside? Any noise?
No, seems pretty quiet.
What do you say, Jan? Should we break in?
Doesn't seem like there's been anybody here to... Let's try it.
Oh, there's that transom door there. Or a transom window, rather.
Above the sheriff's door?
It's in the hallway.
What?
It is in the hallway into the sheriff's office.
There's a high up window above a nothing in the sheriff's
Exactly.
office.
Yeah. That's
Weird design.
Well, there's no window in the
Architecture
sheriff's
was still
office.
trying things out.
In the hot heat, he needs air, so they installed a window so that they could keep the back door open and he could have air flowing into his office.
But it's high up, or it's just regular window?
It's high up because he still wants the privacy of a window, or of the wall. You know what? It's an alternate entrance. You just take it. And it's past the spooky thing.
I know, that's what I don't want.
Well, fine. It's a vent. Large enough to crawl through.
So we have a table and chairs to work with in this briefing room that we can use as something to stand on to get into this window.
I'm just going to try and force the door.
Let's do that. Yeah. Fucking yeah. Give me a strength roll.
I got strength.
Just ram into the door.
I'm going to hurt myself.
Yes, if you fail.
38 is a success.
Is it a hard or an extreme?
It is a regular old success. It's definitely succeeding.
I'm going to say you don't shatter through the door, but you can feel it shift heavy on its hinges. Maybe one more strength test.
And the hinges are on the inside?
You know what? That's a good point. If you want to do like a mechanical repair and take the hinges off.
It's not better than my strength roll. So.
But
I like it more.
But
I'll give you
sure, let's do a mechanical repair. See the hinges and be like, oh, let's pop
I
those
will
off.
give you a bonus because they're lucent. No. Well,
sure, okay. Yeah, let's roll that bonus down.
Because I like it, and they're
65,
lucent.
But I would actually get a 65. Okay.
Ooh. Is that a critical?
I rolled the first two, so we have to ignore them in this one. So no, those are just pretend dice I didn't roll. So the 6 was important under there, so it's a no.
Okay. So you can't. So it was just 6 and 6.
Yeah, it was a 6 and a 6.
60. Okay.
Yeah.
No, you don't know what a hinge is.
I do. They're just on the inside, so that you can't break in like I tried to.
That makes more sense than not knowing what a hinge is. But I like not knowing what a hinge is better.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
With a smile forming on my lips, I kind of zone out for a moment as I think back to my childhood playing with a set of matches underneath the stairs at my mama's house and watching the flames light up the little bits of paper and thinking of such a thrill before mama caught me. And that same sense fills me as I go into the briefing room. There's a coat rack, right?
Yes, of course there's a coat rack.
And with a smile tugging at my lips, I grab the coat rack and leave the briefing room and walk towards the open door.
Okay. Yeah, you do that.
And I'm going to place it in front of the door.
The coat rack?
Take a step back. Yeah, like it's a hat rack, right?
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
There's like a coat on it.
I like this. Cool. So you're like trying to trigger the trap. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
if it is a trap.
Yeah. So you begin walking towards the open door with the coat rack. And you go to place it down. Give me a dexterity roll.
Okay. Oh, can I re-roll? I was gonna use the fucking thing on it, but
there's XP.
You can add an XP, but you can't
add an XP. I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna roll a 1d10. So 8 is my single digit, and okay, 38 is a success.
Good.
Nice. You walk across the floor as the other two are in the room. Quietly, you approach, the squeaking of the security door sort of echoing in the hallway. You place the rack down with sort of a curious regard to the scene before you. You approached it silently before and examined it, and it was only Yan that called you back, thinking it was a trap, and part of you feels doubt as you place the rack down. And were it not for your absolute quickness, you are terrified at what might have befallen you. For the minute you place the coat rack down, almost faster than your eye can catch it, a thick, large tentacle whips into the hallway and sweeps the coat rack in half, crushing it against the door and pulling it into the fog. And in an instant, the mucus is flecked against your pant legs and the walls. The loud crash of the breaking wood falls apart like a toothpick in the thing's absolute muscle and pulled off into the fog as the door swings open and slams and then begins to softly shut again as it pulls away into the mist and disappears.
Can I do I'll actually do a sanity roll.
Definitely.
If I succeed on the sanity roll, can I make an attempt to close the door?
You can close the door anyway, because right now I think you're like, what the fuck? So yeah, I'm just gonna say you don't have to roll for it. You just like close the door quickly, and then yeah, give me your sanity roll.
Sanity is a success.
Ooh.
Perfect. So you take 1 point of sanity.
Perfect.
Cedric, is everything okay? What the hell was that?
It's all good.
What do you mean it's all good? What happened?
There's a terrible noise.
We're not just dealing with grinners anymore.
What are you
I'm
talking
okay.
about?
I'm okay. Something. You were right, Jan. You were right. But I just had to see. You know how it is.
What did you see?
Inquiring minds. Some sort of appendage. Just whipped down and grabbed the coat rack, yanked it out. I managed to get the door shut, so we don't need to worry about that transom window. There's got to be a lock on this thing, right?
You wrestled with a man and got the door shut.
Wrestled with a man? What? No.
What are you talking about?
I baited the trap. I set the trap. I put the coat rack there. Some sort of appendage reached in. It wasn't a man. It was much bigger than a man. Much bigger than any grinner, that was for sure. Some sort of, I don't know, like, what are those things called? From the ocean? Like,
Fish?
no. No. Like the ones that you see in the zoo that's in the it's got those long appendages. 8 of them, right?
An octopus.
Big one.
Ah. A giant tentacle came through that door and took the coat rack in half.
I think that's what happened to our receptionist back there at the other door. Whatever it is, it's smart enough to lay a trap like that.
Did we see any slime at the previous door? You didn't mention any.
You didn't really examine it, unfortunately.
It's a lot of blood. All over.
And you didn't. I mean, you might have, but you sort of you didn't do any spot hidden. You kind of. My understanding was you were trying to kind of avert your gaze and not look too close.
All right. I've never heard of a land octopus, but let's stay away from the door.
Well, hopefully it doesn't find the car around front.
Yeah, me too.
Well, let's work fast then.
All right, so I'll boost you up to that window.
Yeah, let's do that.
Petra, you look like you might be the best to fit through.
All right. She holds her hand out for the billy club.
Good thinking.
And she takes it, and Jan hoists her up. She knocks the glass out of the window.
Amazing.
With the billy club, and clears away all of the sharp, jagged edges. And kind of like dives through.
Perfect. Yeah, and you head in. The lock is one that's accessible from the back, so you can open it for the others as well. But immediately you see that the office is large, grandiose. It sort of paints a picture of a man who feels very proud of his title, but maybe does very little. You know, the center of his desk is clean. You know, all the files are pretty clean. File cabinets, I should say. But you do see on his desk immediately case file 433 just out in the open. And
so she lets them into the sheriff's office, and we pick up the file.
Well, this is quite the place.
Yeah, it is. And there's the file.
She hands it to Cedric for reading.
Okay.
Here, you read this.
I don't read this.
All right, let me just
Dribble.
get this open here. Okay. Here we go. Department of Leary Police. Case file number 433. Leary, Massachusetts, June 6th, 1890. Crime. Arson, murder. Status, closed, unsolved. Victims, Malachi Higgins, Tommy Copeland, Donald Copeland. Report. A small family-owned building company was the scene of a fire. Officer Michael McCowan was first for on-scene investigation. 3 died in the fire. 2 brothers that owned the business and day laborer Malachi Higgins. At first, it seemed like the fire may have been an accident. However, further studies seemed to reveal a number of, broken windows and remnants of accelerant at the scene of the crime. Newly appointed Mayor Cornelius Gray personally assigned Chief Inspector Brian Carver to take the investigation. Shortly thereafter, he closed the case and ruled it unsolvable. Huh.
Interesting.
Well, that's not very good police work, is it?
I suppose not. Further studies seem to reveal a number of broken windows and remnants.
Well,
Do you think this was the building that we were? I mean, it's been 30 years, but
there's a lot of boarded up buildings.
I wonder. Yeah. The note on the other file said that the story in the Lamplighter might be different than the official story.
That's right.
Maybe it's worth checking that out.
I should say that throughout the police station, you realize that the address of the police station is 15 Main Street. The address of the Lamplighter, which is written on the newspaper that you now hold, is 3 Main Street.
Not that far. We're not accosted by tentacles.
Yeah.
Do you say that tongue-in-cheek?
A little bit.
Yeah.
But, it's just so unbelievable. It's horrifying, and Cedric looks shook. And everything's been really weird, but I didn't see it, and I don't know what happened.
That's fair. I'm starting to think I imagined it myself.
Cedric, I'm certain something happened. I'm not trying to say that it didn't. We're missing a coat rack.
That's true. Half a coat rack.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, number 3 Main. I guess that's our next stop. Anything else in this office that is worth noting?
Give me a spot here.
I might take a look around myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's look around.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a hard success.
Definite fail.
Let's see. Yeah. Wait, how well did you succeed?
Hard.
Yeah, you sort of
Firm
take
success.
a really interesting look around, and you look under the sheriff's desk, and what you see is identical to what the ongoing investigation file from the deputy had. It's that symbol equals A, but it's carved under his desk.
Just the symbol, or the symbol?
No, it's literally that. Symbol equals A.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
This is the symbol that they were drawing on that cult.
In the case file
Wow,
here,
right.
yeah.
Do you think the sheriff could have been in a cult?
It's possible.
What is the sheriff's communications on that file? What is he
I think
trying to?
If he was in, I think he was looking for the father. Or was this? Does the writing on? This is it, because I'm now an expert in writing. The writing on the note that said, "I'm going to get a light bulb later," that Hunt wrote. Same writing as on this case file, or a different? This was the deputy's case.
So you have 3 distinct types of handwriting that you've seen so
right.
far, and I will tell you that I have done the work to make sure that they match.
They're all.
I'm so glad.
Hey.
But now I got to go find all those handouts.
No, I just mean to say that I've also made it in the previous episode too, which never came up, but you can decipher whose handwriting you need if you need to check who wrote something.
All of these look distinct to me. Is that wrong?
No, they are. If they
Okay.
are distinct.
Yeah, there.
Distinct handwriting should be distinct, i.e. the case file has 2... The ongoing investigations file has 2
There are
distinct
2 different fonts, yeah. So
Exactly.
the person who left the post-it note on the case file is a different author than the person who's writing the case file, and
Bingo.
it's also different text from what Hunt has.
Exactly. In fact, you can find out who that person who left the sticky note is based on another piece of evidence you received.
Perhaps who signed out a file from the
Bingo.
Bingo Bango. Is it Hancock, perhaps? Or
Hancock. Yes. Hancock left that sticky note on the case file.
interesting. Well, that is a data point for sure. A thing we now know.
Who's Hancock?
Don't know.
Cool. All right. Is there anything else we need to learn from the police station? I don't see anyone here, except for a dead body and maybe a monster.
I don't want to see the monster. Really don't.
Me
Let's just
neither.
poke our head in the bullpen and cells in the break room while we're here.
All right.
Is there any sort of communications in this office? I mean, they used telegram back then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or did they have radio?
No, they had both, but you don't see anything that jumps out. There's a radio in the break room. You turn it on to static.
Right.
And yeah, I'm going to say for speed's sake, you take a quick look through the break room and the bullpen. Bullpen is empty, but you do notice that there are 2 desks in the bullpen. One with the monogram, not monogram, but the plaque of, let me pull this up. Hancock, Joel Hancock, and Caleb Lowry.
Sorry, Caleb Lowry?
Caleb Lowry and Joel Hancock.
Perfect.
Any chance there's a map of the town on a wall somewhere?
Unfortunately, no.
I guess they pretty much know it.
I hope so.
Seems reasonable.
You know what? I'll say this just because take 20, you'd figure it out. There is also a baggie in the lunchroom with a woman's name, Lois House, on it that says, don't eat my food.
Probably the receptionist who got halved.
I'm gonna guess that, yeah. Well,
It's the only female name. There's a female blazer at the desk. There's a female who's dead here. All right.
huh. So do we feel like we know what we have to do next?
Well, we have the ex-deputy's home address. We could go and make a visit to his place to see if the child is there, the boy. We
We're
could
not
also...
from the lamplighter. We could see what it says about these disappearances and the fire/murder.
Certainly.
Do you feel like the disappearances and this file have anything to do with what's going on right now? I mean,
It's hard to say. You're right. They don't. Just every detail feels important, and so I think I'm getting caught up because really, the obelisk we need to be finding.
Which I think we may need to go down to the beach.
You can do an idea roll if you'd like. We can do a quick summary of what you've sort of found.
Let's do it.
Give me an idea roll.
Idea.
I'm gonna throw an extra special bonus die in there. I want a good
Why
idea.
not?
Oh.
I got a regular success.
I should have picked a different color, but
Really?
it'll be a hard success either way.
Okay, so you have a few things that you can follow up on to reiterate what you've discovered. First and foremost, you have the deputy's address, which you know the boy is meant to be at. That is 44 Sycamore Drive. You have the lamplighter address, which, as the ongoing investigation sticky note said, to follow up on case 433. You also have the address from the original file of Catherine McCarthy's death of her parents, who were notified.
22A.
Exactly. Finally, you have... Is that all the information you pretty much need, or have right now, I should say? Let's see. You have 3 missing people. Yeah, you don't know that now. You have the... So basically you have... Sorry, say again?
What don't we know?
Nothing. You have the McCarthy lead, you have the lamplighter lead, and you have the deputy lead. I mean, you could sort of suss out others. You could find out maybe where that fire was and all that kind of stuff, but that's a bit too far down. I'd say those are the 3 main information strands that you can pull on right now. And as you sort of consider your options, I think you each see the value of looking at the lamplighter now because it is so close. And you would have to do a bit of searching for wherever Sycamore Drive is. But that's just me.
Well, let's check on the folks in the car and then continue on past them down Main Street to the lamplighter.
All right.
Get them caught up so they at least know what we know.
Perfect.
Can know if they don't find us, 44 Sycamore Drive is maybe a good place to check out.
As you leave, that sort of oppressive nature of the fog once again sets upon you. The air again becomes thick as you leave the police station, but the gray light of day, sometime early morning, does make you feel more comfortable than the claustrophobic dark hallways of the police station and the blood-stained tiles of the back door. You each sort of take account of what you've learned and consider your next path as you head down towards the car to see Abdul leaning against it, Raymond in the back seat speaking with Catherine, and Abdul sort of looks towards you with a concerned look. It's been relatively quiet, but as we were sitting in the car, it sounded like something passed by us. Behind the houses, something in the fog. Something large. Very big.
What do you mean it sounded like? What did you hear?
It's tough to describe. The other 2 didn't quite hear it. It was sort of this hum, this deep sort of almost breathing. A monotonous, omnipresent tone.
But that sounded like something moving? What do you mean?
Well, at first I didn't notice that it was around. And when I did, I couldn't get it out of my head until it sort of passed by.
Did it sound like what I heard earlier? Or does that sound like what I heard earlier?
And you sort of compare notes. He wasn't privy to the conversation. Yes, that's exactly it. Sort of like the flowing of blood. Sort of like a constant running.
Yes, but almost like a voice. Awful.
Something like that. Either way, I feel like it's gone now. And you too kind of feel the sense of that lifting. Where are you off to now?
There's some leads at the lamplighter, the newspaper office. We're hoping to follow up on just while we're nearby. but we've found the deputy's address is 44 Sycamore Drive. It's...
Right. Well, maybe we should pop into one of these shops and see if we can't find a map for the address while you look out the lamplighter. I want to be more useful.
That sounds like a great idea.
Watch out for anything gooey.
All right.
Cedric saw a monster.
Oh. And he sort of looks taken aback for a second and then sort of nods. Right now, I'm willing to believe anything.
That's sort of how I feel.
Good luck. And you head across the road, counting the buildings, to actually the two-story building that you approached before that had the boarded-up windows. It's just a few rows down, kitty corner from the police station. As you approach, again, the foggy streets, cobblestone pathways, it almost has a medieval tone to the town. You know, days of old when sickness was bled and cut off like a gangrenous limb. There's a stench that hangs in the air. And as you approach the building, despite the boarded up corner store, Ralph's Goods, that sits below it, the second story, it does seem to be more alive. There's no lights on per se, but the lamplighter is stenciled on the window in a less faded gray. And the front door to it is open.
It's above Ralph's?
Yeah, there's sort of like a small doorway that opens up to a stairwell up, and it looks like it goes up.
I think, yeah, Jan will step through and start walking up the stairs.
Mm-hmm. Petra follows.
You ascend the iron steps to the second story, and as you do, you hear a scuttling on the top floor. Sort of like a dog quickly running from an angry owner. At the top, there is a map next to the stairwell. And it is in Cthulhu handouts. Brah, brah, brah. And you're at the top of the stairs, right before the closed door to the lobby.
Is that a window in this room?
No, that opens to a very small back balcony.
Okay.
The street is sort of north in this picture.
I'm going to go try the lobby door.
Yeah, and it opens. Opening the office door, you see the lights of the lobby are in fact on. But again, similar to the police station, it doesn't seem like anybody is here, at least in this room. You sort of scan, entering the room slowly, eyeing the front desk, some couches, faded news articles on a small table. This lobby has a bit more liveliness than the police station. Despite still being an old building, it seems like at least someone has tried to breathe some life in the place. It seems like the work done here is at least more active, and the faded white painted plaster walls at least give a bit of energy to the room until your eyes fall upon a large hole bored into the wall of the office. It's maybe from the ground to 3 feet high, rubble plaster scattered across the floor. The large hole sits maybe 2 to 3 feet in diameter. It is directly across from the door that you enter.
Crazy. Any source of the scuttling noise that we can identify?
Nope, just a large freaky hole in the side of the wall.
And is there loose plaster on the ground?
Yes.
So it's not been cleaned up after?
No.
Interesting.
The door to the editor's office locked?
So you walk over the crunch of plaster beneath your feet as you sort of look around the floor, your eyes scanning it. Give me a spot hidden as you're moving over.
Sure.
You said that the hole was bored into the wall of the office, but you also said that it's across the room from the door that we just entered from.
Correct. It's linking the two rooms.
Super duper success.
The newsroom or the office?
It's Oh, sorry. What did I say?
You said office.
I meant it's bored into the wall of this building. It is in the lobby. It's connecting the lobby to the newsroom.
Okay.
Let me just make sure I'm using the right terminology. Yes. The entire thing is the office, not the editor's office. My apologies.
Sorry, I just wanted to kind of get my head screwed on right.
Yes, let me do a better job with his critical success. As you move across, you see, again, this plaster strewn across the floor, big chunks of hard that crunch beneath your feet. You also see sort of drag marks, like something with a long tail, moving through this plaster, pushing it aside, leaving a long strand. The hole, now you kind of see over the front desk, is again 2 to 3 feet in diameter, fairly large, and you can see the floor of the newsroom beyond. It looks almost chewed through.
It's like they got a giant rat problem here.
And as you approach the editor's office, it's not only unlocked, it's actually open a little bit.
Hello?
Cedric. Petra, what are you guys doing?
Petra slowly crosses the floor of the lobby, picking her way around the large chunks of plaster, casts her glance over Jan as he moves towards the editor's office, and she moves toward the hole in the newsroom wall. She doesn't get right up close to it, maybe 3 or 4 feet away, and she just peers through the hole to the room beyond.
Yeah, and as you do, you can smell this foul stench coming from the other side. And there are tufts of fur, small but distinct, sort of blackish brown. There's a bit stuck to the hole. Cedric?
Remind me why we're here again, Miss Petra?
She's examining the fur that's stuck to the edge of this hole. Cedric, we're here at the Lamplighter because we need answers. We want to find out what happened to these people in the case files, and refers to the Lamplighter specifically.
Right. Have we found any documents in here yet?
No, just this terrifying hole.
Yeah.
Yan, as you enter the editor's office, you put your hand on the door and it swings open slowly with a creak. The frosted glass of the door sort of jiggling a little bit as the door hits against the back wall. The lights in this room are off, and you reach for the switch, but it seems that they're broken. You pull your flashlight out and shine it around the room. There's a large editor's desk in the corner. In the center, as you sort of look through the room.
Yeah, I'm gonna go just run the flashlight over the office desk and just see if there's any papers or anything interesting on there. Maybe check out the corners, make sure there's nothing that chewed the hole through the wall hanging out in here.
Perfect. As you enter and take a look at the desk, your eyes fall upon a man who sits in the corner, his back against the wall, bordering the A archive.
Hey, are you all right?
The light of your flashlight illuminates his bald face. His glasses sort of sit crooked on his face, and he doesn't move. And as you look down at his chest, you see a large cavity bored into his stomach that leads into the wall behind, a hole dug into his flesh.
Ugh. Cedric, Petra?
1 minute. And I head over there.
And you enter to see Yan shine the light on the body of a man with a large hole in his stomach. And Petra, you also enter to see this man, his stomach carved out, leaning against the wall. And as you each look at him, the light shining, he begins to twitch.
How the hell is he still alive?
And as he moves, you see the small, wet mouth of a creature stick out into light for a moment. Its black, desolate eyes, its sort of faded gray nose. It cocks its head curiously, looking towards you in the light, and then disappears.
What the hell was that?
Is it a rat? I detest rats.
I've never seen rats that live in a person's stomach. Jeez.
It looks about larger than knee-high, and its face was sort of reminiscent of a rat, but in a way that almost causes you to sweat. Give me a sanity roll as well, by the way, boys and girls.
Sure.
It sort of had long tendrils hanging from either side of its mouth, and I posted a picture in the handouts.
I failed.
No, this is not okay.
He looks bad and yucky.
I'm not into this at all.
Everyone who fails takes one.
1d4?
Everyone who fails takes one.
Everyone who fails just takes one. No, it's scary, but it's not horrific. It's just gross.
Ugh.
What? How? Where does a thing like that even come from?
It's like a mole rat. It's like a vole rat. It's got those tendrily things on the nose.
I don't know any mole or vole that big. If we want any information, we're gonna have to kill it. Obviously, it eats people and walls.
I
Okay.
think we've just got the one baton between us and 2 flashlights. Maybe not even that many.
Is there anything on the walls that would serve as a makeshift weapon? A fire extinguisher or a machine gun?
Yeah, the line player's obviously got a machine gun.
It's a dangerous business.
Yeah. No, I'm not
Telling
going to
people
say.
bad news.
I mean, an umbrella maybe.
Typewriter?
Something that would bring... Yeah, you could try a typewriter. It'll be fucking tough to wield. But sure.
I don't know how we're supposed to do research with a scary rat tentacle boy.
Well, it's gone for
scurrying
now.
around. No, he just poked his head back into the man.
Yeah, he's back in the man for now.
Which is into the wall.
You were doing a spot hidden in this room, did you say?
I thought I
Well,
aced out. No, that was the other one. Somebody else.
We haven't really gone into the room yet because we don't want to disturb the rat yet.
Well, I know Yan was like at the desk, sort of across from it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But what were you going to do, Cedric?
Well, I was thinking about going into the break room and seeing if I can find a metal pan or something like that.
Sure. Okay, so you're going to do that. Yan, why don't you give me that roll for the spot hidden? Are you searching the editor's desk, or are you not bothering?
I am. Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay.
And I want all the deets. I'm gonna throw. I think I got another special die on there.
Well, this is a tough one, so I hope you do.
How about a 6?
That's
Like a 6. I think that's a super duper success.
Yeah, you find a few old documents in his desk, but one that seems to jump out. It is a rejected copy edit, which you can read out loud if you'd like. Edit copy, I should say.
Monster or Myth, August 8th, 1922. So that was last August?
No, it's 1925. It's a few years ago.
Okay, 3 years ago. Though every town has its fair share of legends, our small town of Leary has remained for the most part well and away from such nonsense, until now it seems. For the past year, there have been numerous reports of hulking creatures to the north of Leary, a creature that has left this reporter wondering what foolish people believe such a thing. Miss Mosley, a 75-year-old retired dairy farmer and the last of her ilk, has claimed firsthand to have witnessed the monstrous thing that stalks the swamps and desolate farmlands to the north. But she's an old dingbat who has one too many holes in her brain. This article, as well as the spirit in which it was given to me, is a joke, and the editor should have given it to Derek because it's a waste of my time. Sincerely, Lowell Chandler. And there's a note on it. Are you kidding me? See me after work, from Hines. Well, then.
Cedric, you go to try the newsroom door. Sorry, continue, Ian. I just wanted to...
No, go ahead.
It's locked.
Okay, well, that's a bust.
There's a big hole that goes into it.
That's true. How big is the hole?
3 feet high, 2 to 3 feet
Big
in
enough
diameter.
to squeeze through.
Right. Well, I'll wait.
Do it.
I've already got a baton. I'm okay. So I'm going to go back to them and let them know that the newsroom is empty, or sorry, that it's locked. But the hole I might be able to squeeze through. But what should we do about this rat thing? We just let it live in the guy's stomach?
Well, Jan wasn't able to find any records that we're interested in. We want to find out about the ongoing investigation. Yes, the McCarthy file. Ongoing investigation. You can check the lamplighter yourself.
Don't you think that this creature that attacked me has something to do with that file?
No, we're looking about the arson murder.
Oh,
File 433 from June 6, 1980. That would be in the archives, I'm sure.
1890. Just.
That's what I said.
How dare you correct her?
Sorry.
But I don't think it's going to be... Well, so the hole that the monster was going into via man's torso leads into the archive rooms.
Through the hole. Through the hole.
Oh, boy. I'm going to...
Get your face eaten.
Slide the man away from the hole.
Are you going to walk over to the hole?
I think so.
Okay.
Through the man or the hole in
maybe
the
I just
newsroom?
like from the far side of the room shine a light towards the hole. Just
Through
to
the
see
man, through the hole?
Yeah.
That's all I got. That's all I got at this point.
Sure. So you shine in and you see that there's you can see the archives on the other side. Give me a spot hidden.
Sure.
A spin. Spitting.
All right. 54 will not do it. Fail.
Yeah, no, you don't see
Failure.
shit. But it doesn't.
I just see a body, and it's hard to look past that.
Mm-hmm.
The hole that goes into the archive rooms is surely not 3 feet by 2.5 feet.
No,
Because
it's
it goes
smaller.
through a man.
Yeah, it's a bit.
You can't
smaller.
really go
It's like-
through that.
Yeah, exactly.
So the only way through is either through the hole into the newsroom,
Let's do that one then.
or we can break down the door in the newsroom.
Through the hole. Through the hole.
I feel better about breaking down the door, to be perfectly honest. I mean, these walls, like, there's like, am I imagining this correctly, where there's like 2 sheets of drywall
Yeah.
or sheetrock, and then there's like empty space where the insulation would go?
That sounds cooler. So yeah, let's say that. No, I'm thinking it's just like a regular wall.
I see. Okay, because I was picturing there like just this black gap.
I know, and it's
between
kind of
the
awesome.
two walls.
I kind of like it more, but also only a door between those wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because it'd be like, you know what I mean? It'd be like,
Petra rolls up her non-existent sleeves and is like, "All right, Cedric, you and me charge the door together. On 3.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to break it down
okay.
together."
All right. So I'll assist you
Okay.
with your roll.
I don't have very good strength.
I should probably lead the strength charge.
Yes, I'll assist you. How does that sound?
That sounds good.
All right. Give me a roll with a bonus die for strength, though.
Strength. All right. So do and then do.
Jan, you get ready to punch a rat.
Oh.
Okay, I'm holding on to a typewriter, ready to.
Critical success?
Yes.
Yeah,
Fuck
you
yeah.
run to the door and it gives way pretty easy. And you're in the newsroom. But I wish you went through the hole. Your
Sorry.
face would have gotten so eaten. Just kidding.
Are there like 4 rats just like waiting all around the hole?
No, it seems empty
like,
in here.
hoping to jump on us?
Seems pretty empty.
There would have been if we'd gone through the hole.
I
Yeah.
know. Okay. So we are now in the newsroom. Can I spot hidden in here real quick?
Sure.
Quick little spot.
There's a little spit spot, and I don't do anything.
Yeah,
Spit
you don't
spot.
see anything.
What you got?
It's too dark.
It's a newsroom. And Yan,
So-
you're entering the newsroom after them?
Absolutely, yeah. Looking around with a flashlight, hauling a typewriter under one arm.
Nice.
Is the door to the archive open? Petra clicks on her flashlight and starts looking at it.
It is open.
Is there a rat in there?
You can kind of walk around the corner to see.
I do.
Yeah, it's just sitting there. It's sort of sitting there on its like hinds almost, just staring at you and kind of regarding you, and it turns its head.
Is it like Louis sized
It's
or like
a little bit larger, and you also notice that it's got like these bubbles on its back, sort of like these pustules.
ugh.
Ugh.
What the hell is this creature?
That I'll show you a picture.
What if we can scare it away? You know, some creatures, if you make loud noise, they'll spook. What if
I'll
we
toss
use...
a typewriter at it.
That's gonna work.
Yeah, that might work.
Can't hurt.
You gonna toss a typewriter at it?
That's the one, yeah.
All right, give me a strength roll or something, I guess.
Sure. I think I have 1 XP left, and I'm spending it.
Do it.
Okay.
Oh, nope. I don't like any of those rolls. Wait, 17. I do. I'll take that.
Yeah, you toss
Yeah, that's
it.
a hard success.
Yeah, you toss it at it, and it like sees it coming and like sidesteps it and runs back through the man to the archive, and it sort of hisses. You can hear it in the other room.
Yeah,
No,
you
wait.
stay in there.
He's in the editor's office now, right?
Yes.
Okay. Quick. Let's go through the archives.
The perfect time for paperwork is with a giant hissing rat monster.
Yes. So we're looking for the Lamplighter issue from June 6, 1980.
Perfect. Yeah, and is anybody keeping a lookout, or what's going on?
I'm going to keep a lookout for this rat.
Okay. From behind?
I
or
mean-
from the editor's room?
From in the archive room.
Okay.
I'm going to look in files the way that Cedric taught me.
Library use?
Library
If
use.
you're both doing it, you can use a bonus. Otherwise, Cedric, are you just standing, or what are you going to do?
No, I was gonna look. Library use.
Then yeah, you can either bonus or use the high, whatever you want. And they're sort of organized by date. B is like 1700s to 1800s. A is 1800s to 19 to present or whatever.
I got a hard success.
Perfect. Yeah, you start looking through the files. What date are you looking for? 1890?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
June 6.
Yeah, so you start looking through that. Yan, you're looking towards the newsroom.
Yeah.
And you see something skid across the floor. Looks like a mug or something like that.
Like a mug.
Yeah.
But
Like a coffee
swinging
mug?
the flashlight over there. What's moving over there?
Yeah, you can't quite see, but something skidded across the floor and went to the corner. Do you go investigate?
I do go investigate
Perfect.
just to get the light on it.
Yeah, wonderful. So you walk up. Give me a listen roll.
Sure. Oh no, I failed that.
Okay. So you're watching the newsroom, and all of a sudden something skids across the floor and sort of lands in the corner. Curiously, you begin walking towards it, your light shining on it. And as you look around the corner, you see it's a mug. It's actually the mug you saw on the editor's desk. With a perplexed look, you sort of stand back before you feel a remarkably strong grip on your ankle. At first, it feels like a large hand, and you look down and you see the rat's tentacles wrapping around your leg before you feel the piercing pain of the teeth sink deep into your leg,
Oh god, it's got my leg.
severing your tendons and arteries as it bites down.
No, I need those.
Yeah, give me a 1d6 damage.
Sure.
+2, I think it is.
4.
Okay, so yeah, you take 4 damage, and as your fingers land on the correct article, you hear the scream of this man before the bite lets go. And for a second, Yan, you look down at it, and it looks up at you, and it sort of smirks, and it turns around and runs out of the room.
Petra swings her flashlight out to the newsroom and illuminates the form of Jan, just like flipping out.
Yeah.
It was on my leg. I think it's gone, but it could be anywhere.
So you're bleeding profusely, Yan, from your leg.
Yeah, I'm trying to like put pressure around the wound. I need something to tie my leg up. And
she runs into the room and like pulls a chair out from one of the desks and like gets him seated.
Amazing. Yeah. And
is there anything around that I could use as a bandage?
Sure, there's some like tea towels from the break room.
Yeah.
And,
tea towel time.
Yeah, give me like a first aid or a medicine roll.
Don't.
Well, that's kind of what it is for.
I got some first aids.
Anyone can wrap it over.
32. So medicine I have 1% in.
Ooh.
And first aid I have 30, so I just fail. I find some
Hold on. Spend some luck.
Oh, okay. I'll spend 2 luck.
Yeah.
Great. Perfect. So I succeed. Oh,
perfect.
Here's some tea towels and lay them over. Just...
No, a little tighter. We need to go a little tighter.
Oh, yes? Okay. Just a moment. Does that hurt?
Put some muscle into it.
All right. I just don't want to hurt you.
And as you're tying it up, Yan, you're sort of looking around, and you look over to the doorway of the open newspaper, and the rat's sitting there again on its hind legs, and sort of looks at you for a second, and almost smirks maybe, and turns around and runs out again.
I hate how fucking clever this thing is.
Just in a meta sense, this thing's really clever. It's like, yeah, you'll figure it out.
No, we won't.
Well, anyway, Cedric, as you're walking out, you realize what you've grabbed, and you give it a quick read over, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
What was this? This is 1890, right? Oops.
Yes. Okay. June 6th.
Do you want to read this one out loud? Yeah.
All right. What do we got? Clipping from February 4th, 1890. Oh, are you all right, Jan?
I'm hanging in there.
You okay, bro? Let's go read this.
What you reading over there? Is anything good?
Newspaper clipping. Very interesting. Help wanted. Workers/builders. Help wanted in construction project around Leary, Massachusetts. Looking for skilled help with machinery, manual labor, heavy lifting, and planning, including foundation work. Small skilled team preferred. Great pay, long days, contract work. Serious offers only. If interested, please leave a note at the front desk of the Elderwood Inn stating worker inquiry.
What's that got to do with anything?
Nothing that I can tell, honestly.
Nothing. I mean, no.
Apart from the fact that the scene of the arson and murder was a small family-owned building company.
Oh, do you think they built this place?
Perhaps.
Let's get back to the car. I want away from this stupid rat.
Hold
please.
on. So I say this kind of as I shake my head, and I'm going to go back into the archives.
Yeah.
And I'm going to look up 1924.
Okay, why?
The end of 1924. This is the first date that this is where all the people went missing randomly, and this is the first symbol that we see the A symbol.
Oh, the start of his document.
Yeah, the ongoing investigations.
Gotcha.
Just gonna flip through there because that, yeah.
There doesn't seem to be anything that jumps out in 1924. I mean, all the articles are logged, obviously.
So can I, like, I want to try to do this quickly, I guess, but I want to go through 1906 around February 3rd as well. And I think that will be probably the last one.
Okay.
We did 1890.
Yeah, in February 3rd, you do see a small article written up just speaking of Catherine McCarthy's death, but it doesn't seem to say anything different than what the case file said.
Huh. So I guess this is it. I mean, I'm not finding anything for the other dates that we've got.
What about for around August 1922?
August 1922.
The article Monster.
Oh, right. Yeah.
If it had ever been rewritten and published.
So you take a look at what date?
Around August 1922, that Monster or Myth article, if it was rewritten and done properly by someone.
You see an article.
Yes.
Called Legends, Myths, and Monsters, published on the 13th of 1922. Why don't you read this for us?
Legends, Myths, and Monsters by Derek Steele, August 13th, 1922. Even the oldest residents of Leary know not to tread too far into the northern swamps. New information found early this year may reveal why the treacherous swamps of northern Leary have always been a backdrop for haunted tales of horror and may shed light on mysterious disappearances. Known as the Red Marshes, the wetlands of northern Leary aren't just home to mosquitoes and fireflies. They also may hold a mysterious and terrifying history. As most locals know, Leary, named after the Scottish poem referring to he who would light the street lamps at night, has a unique, colorful, and sometimes horrifying past. Amongst the number of historical distinctions our small town holds is the recent discovery that Leary may be one of the first landing points of English settlers. While the validity and recognition of this point is still up in the air, it now seems like the answer to this mystery may never actually arrive. After its accidental discovery late last year, two prominent historians were brought in to research and examine a location within the Red Marshes. The local who discovered and reported the location spoke of not one or two, but a number of buildings, cave systems, and tunnels hundreds of years old. This information alone was enough to prompt Arkham researchers to take a cursory glance. The project was overseen by local historian Oliver North. Over the agreed-upon course of 3 months, from September to November, the researchers were set to examine the sites of the apparent ruins. However, constant delays and problems within the swamp arose, cutting their time to only a few weeks. Tragedy struck when, after only a few days in the swamps during mid-November, one of the two researchers was lost during a snowstorm, and despite local effort, they were never found. This prompted the remaining researcher to deem the site unsuitable for additional research until the weather was better. However, with over 9 months since the day, no attempt has been made by Leary offices, Oliver North, nor the Arkham research team to start again. Within the marshes, houses, churches, underground cemeteries, and mansions may exist, and yet, for some unknown reason, the entire project was halted. This leaves a number of questions unanswered, but for this reporter, the most pointed questions remained to be: why was the site abandoned? And what happened to the landing party who built this settlement? For those brave enough to travel into the swamplands and those lucky enough to know how to traverse them, you may find what one or two locals have described as early settlements, hollowed-out buildings, foundations, and cave systems, all supposedly predating Jamestown by almost 20 years. Or you may find what one local has dubbed the Wretch. Within the marshes, claims have been made to the existence of a creature, one that walks with loud, thunderous steps, a creature that calls into the night in an inhuman guttural howl. It is a creature that may roam the soggy, muddy lands that encompass the Red Marshes, one that may just be as old as time itself. Despite the barren and desolate appearance of the red marshes, heed this warning to any local who dare traverse. There is something in the swamp. Whether it be ruins or the wretch is still up for debate, but one would be wise to stay away.
And we are going to end there.
Which is some refreshing.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Call of Cthulhu Part 6.
Wow, so many mysteries.
So many mysteries, so many leads to follow, and we're going to be taking at least 2 weeks break. So this is going to give you guys some time to pour over some evidence and make some inquiries and make some questions. I know Rin has gotten like 7 documents tonight to consider. So
I'm working on my list.
Yeah.
I've got many tabs open.
Yes, there's lots to pour over, and I'm really proud of you guys. You did fantastic tonight. Well done.
Thank you.
Endgame XP. Who should we give it to?
Great question. Who did the goodest job?
So many people did a good job.
Gosh. Honestly, I was trying to pay attention to all of these like articles and details that I was paying less attention to the Discord than I usually do. A lot of good images.
Some horrifying images.
Oh yeah, the mouse.
Tentacle mouse one is no bueno.
Yeah,
Not
bueno.
okay.
So scary.
Scary.
Let's see. I mean, lots of regulars here.
I love it. The Discord was great tonight, actually.
Yeah, no, it really was. I think Adam Frey had some good comments. You want to do Adam Frey?
Yeah.
Adam Frey.
Let's do it.
Adam Frey, you win Endgame XP. Ladies and gentlemen, as we mentioned, that next week is going to be a Justin read. So thank you again for Justin doing that. And I hope you guys submit your own personal horror stories of 2,000 words or less to Justin so that we can vote and pick the winner. After that is going to be probably a game with Joe, Justin, and I, because you are getting ready for Breakout Con that week, right?
It's true. It turns out Breakout is the day-ish after.
Yeah.
So
you
next
got
week
your
after next.
prep going. But after that, we are returning to Call of Cthulhu to continue the investigation. So 2-week little break, a little bit of reading, and then a one-shot will be on the map, and then back to the horror of Call of Cthulhu. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you have a wonderful night, a fantastic weekend, and as my best friend Justin always likes to say,
Hergaburgadurgadurgadoo.
Hergaburgadurgadoo, everyone. Good night.
As they say.
Night.